And a pleasant good evening to you and yours. And welcome to Brevard Sports Network as we kick off the 2024 season with the Kickoff Classics. I'm Alan Slaughterzinski as Brevard Sports Network launches into its fifth season of high school football coverage. That's right. Launched during the pandemic. Our first high school football season was 2020, and 2024 makes five somehow. And joining me tonight, and I hope for a lot of my broadcast this year, a former offensive coordinator for the Satellite Scorpions, and a man that knows this game. And I love having him sit next to me, a good friend in real life, and I love talking to him. So we're going to have a lot of fun this year. Probably be a lot of inside jokes, but you'll get them as the season progresses. Please help me welcome my man, Nick Donahue. See, at least I didn't call you Phil, but welcome.
Been a long time since I've heard that name thrown out there. Long time. I'm so excited. Friday Night Lights back. We are in season. We are here. We are ready to go.
Yeah, I'm pumped up. I know all of you are. We've got 4 games on the docket tonight. I want to tell you that tonight's game is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Now, I could sit here and tell you all about Buffalo Wild Wings, but you know how good the food is. It's located right here in Viera, and they do an absolutely terrific job. And, of course, by the Viera Hawk Booster Club. As you know, Brevard Sports Network enters into agreements throughout the course of the year with different teams and programs and booster clubs. And the Viera Hawks this year, the Satellite Scorpions, the Cocoa Tigers, the Heritage Panthers, the MCC Hustlers, all part of our packages this year. The 4 games you'll see here tonight on BSN, Heritage is hosting Rockledge, which ought to be an interesting one. And, Nick, you know, you and I were kind of looking at that game a little bit and are looking at that roster a little bit, and we didn't recognize a whole lot of names on that Rockledge roster. Heritage graduates 26 seniors, but they bring back 23 more. You got a first-year head coach going against a second-year head coach. That's going to be an interesting one to me tonight.
I think both programs have a lot to work on this year. You know, in the sense of Rockledge needs to prove that changing head coaches isn't going to change their winning ways. You know, and Heritage is going to prove that they're here to stay, and what that happened last year isn't just an anomaly, and they're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So here we've got Viera and Palm Bay. Now, last year at this time, Nick, it was an extremely different start from the Kickoff Classic on for Viera. They would enter into a period of uncertainty for this program. Not the case this year as Tony Gulla enters his first season as the official head coach. Last year he was the interim, taking over for Shane Staples when all of this went down. They returned 10 of 11 on the defensive side of the football this year, and I'm excited to see what they have in store for offense, because I think Eric Nelson's going to be this team's quarterback, and when you look at what you're going to see from this offense, I still think Gullah can tell me he's going to run it all he wants, but I still think they're going to spread it out and throw it a little bit.
Well, even looking at some of their pregame right now, you're looking about 2x2. You know, I don't think they have any worries about only needing to run the football. I think they'll throw it when they need to throw it. They'll run it when they need to run it. And I don't think there's anybody better right now to run this program than Gulla. For what he did for this program last year, he deserves every little bit of accolades that he's getting this year.
The interesting thing about the other team on the docket tonight, the Palm Bay Pirates, not a lot of players on the roster, but the players they have are players, so to speak, and they're led by first-year head coach Mitchell Brown. Now, I really like what Brown has done. He has surrounded himself with a ton of former Palm Bay alumni on his staff. When you look at this coaching staff, and let me read off some of them to you: Mike DeGore, Stuart Brown, Beta. I always have a hard time with his last name. You know, you go down the list there, and all of these guys, you know, Mike DeGore, still the only offensive lineman ever to be the MVP of a state championship game. He was that for Dan Burke's Pirates back in 2000. And the irony here tonight with him, Nick, is that he coached here for 6 years as a play caller for Kevin Mays, and then spent a couple of seasons with Derek Smith.
Not just coached here, but did a very, very good job of doing it too. I mean, what they did, those Viera teams for those years, I mean, state runner-up, playoffs, I don't know, 6 years in a row, something like that, you know. So he's a heck of a coach, but Palm Bay always seems to have athletes. No matter what the size of their roster looks like, the athletes that they put on the field every single year is always impressive.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to step away. I'm going to put this thing on mute, and we'll be right back here in just a couple of minutes right here. Actually, no, I'm going to stay right here real quick. Nick, I need you to give me a test to make sure that everybody's going to be able to hear you. So I want to do that. So give me a 1, 2, 3, buddy.
All right, 1, 2, 3, sir. 1, 2, 3. Be sounding good. 1, 2, 3. Gonna have a good night tonight.
There we go. All right, I think
we are up and running. We are ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll. Real quick, so let's, other games on the docket tonight. We have real games, too, by the way, taking place. And as you look across Brevard County, more and more we have more teams moving to the Sunshine State Athletic Association. So there are 3 teams in Brevard County that play, or 2 teams in Brevard County that play in the Sunshine State Athletic Association 11-man program, and 2 of them play in the 8-man program, and all 4 of them play real games tonight, Nick. So good luck to them, and that's Merritt Island Christian. That's Calvary Chapel, who has joined the FHSAA, by the way, in other sports. Calvary Chapel, as well as Space Coast and Bayside. So all 4 of those programs have real games tonight, so we will see. Well, they are an FHSAA independent, so they're actually in a kickoff classic.
So they're actually independent then.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Because there is a misconception out there of what is independent, what is SSAA. So that's interesting to know. Yep,
so you're also going to get a chance tonight, sometime coming up in the second half, to hear from Brevard Sports Network's 2 newest guys. And I'm excited for – now, I want to make sure I get his last name. I know it's Drew Newland. Jack, how do you say your last name?
Grimacin.
Jack Grimacin. There you go. I love it. And you know what I like? He's loud like me.
Yes.
You know what? I love it. So Jack Grimacin and Drew Newland will be doing some broadcasting tonight. We're going to let these guys flow into it tonight. So
no pressure at all.
No pressure at all for these 2. Other games in Brevard County tonight. We told you about the games you'll see here. Lake Brantley at MCC, and real quick. Another Brevard County native takes over as a coach at MCC, and Willie Tillman. And you know what? Tillman takes over a very, very good football team down there with Brogan McNabb, the Holy Trinity transfer at quarterback. I think this is going to be a very good team that wins. Could be a double-digit win team this year.
As a private school, you always think, maybe not quite the competition, those type of things. But this team, Holy Trinity also, but MCC has put together a squad that's going to make some serious noise throughout the year and probably into the playoffs.
Yep, I think so. And tonight they'll host Lake Brantley, Jackson Robb, and Logan Pettit on the call. Here's another good one tonight. O'Galley is hosting Mainland. Daryl Duran and Ron Lighthall on the call for that one. So Mainland, a defending state champ, Chris Sands, and O'Galley, I believe they have a team that's capable of playing in a 5A Final Four this year. They've got all the goods. They've got an LSU commit on the defensive line. They've got a defensive back and an athlete that is 29-30 offers in Xavier Larice. They got the MCC transfer at quarterback and Joseph Allen. So I think this is going to be a very good football team. They just can't shoot themselves in their foot.
I firsthand got to see Mainland last year, unfortunately, I guess we'll say, in the first round of the playoffs. And I got to see the type of team that they put together, and there's a reason that they are state champions. I mean, they're even returning a really good roster. Now, they did lose their head coach and some transfers over the offseason, so that will help O'Galley a little bit. And O'Galley gains, like you said, some great transfers. So that will be a really, really good game.
Yeah, no doubt. And games you won't see on Brevard Sports Network, the defending 2S back-to-back state champion Cocoa Tigers tonight will travel to your old neck of the woods in Satellite High School as they'll take on the Scorp. Sebastian River is at Titusville. Father Lopez is at Cocoa Beach. Merritt Island is at New Smyrna Beach. And we'll tell you about that in just a second as we all stand and honor the flag for the national anthem. All right, the national anthem, and want to thank the Viera marching band. It's all here tonight now, Nick. The marching band, the crowd. There's got to be 30,000 football fans here tonight. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But you get the point as we get set to start. And once again, we want to thank the Viera Hawk Booster Club and, of course, a remarkable job that Scotty Woodruff does. Also the JV head coach this year. And tonight's top primary sponsor is Buffalo Wild Wings. So we want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings as well. And, of course, also Brevard Sports Network wouldn't come to you without some of our other fantastic sponsors. And back for another season of outstanding football here on BSN is Global Polygraph Analysis. And so great to have Luis Nieto back, and looking forward to rekindling that relationship from last season. So we'll talk to Luis throughout the season and tell you about Global Polygraph Analysis. And, of course, in a day and age where everything is such a hot topic, and you know what, telling the truth has become so important, as I'm sure we all know. So I want to thank Luis for that. You'll see that graphic up a little later in the game. And, of course, all Brevard Sports Network football is brought to you by Natwick Insurance. Natwick Insurance powers BSN, and we want to thank Eric Natwick and the team at Natwick. So we are ready, I believe, probably for the coin toss here coming up as the players get set to come out on the field. The Palm Bay Pirates will come out first. They were 7-4 last year, Nick, another playoff run. That we're talking about Natwick Insurance powering BSN for the last couple of seasons. It's been Mitchell Brown and that defense powering the Palm Bay Pirates.
Yeah, looking at only averaging about 16 points a game over the last couple of seasons. That's impressive. They've played some really high competition, too, so there's no cupcakes in that schedule.
No doubt. And as for the Viera Hawks, this was a team that I think a lot of people forget, Nick, went 0-10 a couple of years ago. They were 5-4 last year, and had they not shot themselves in the foot prior to the start of the season, they could have been a playoff team. They could have been a 6-4 team. But, listen, lessons learned. We've moved on to a new season, and Tony Gullah has them dialed in and ready to go.
I've talked to a couple of players over the last week or two from Viera, and they all stand behind Gullah. They love the way he coaches. They love the way he runs things, and they're ready to rock and roll for him.
Excuse me. Jack Hancock will not play tonight. And there you see number 11. Other captains out there for The Viera Hawks is going to be number 10, Isaac Hungerbuehler. Number 7 out there as well, Cooper Keith. And number 9, James Olson, the linebacker, a captain. Can't see the Palm Bay captains, but I can tell you right now, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't surprise me if defensive MVP Jacob Day was one of them. And can't see the other number out there. Demarion Harp. All right, thank you, man. Drew, look at that. Coming
ready to
through
go.
In the clutch already. Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. As we get set for kickoff here, it looks like. I'll tell you, I'm going to be honest. I was no more ready for kickoff this year than the man in the moon. I just simply was not. But now that it's here, I'm ready. Let's go.
You know, it always seems like it's so far away until it's here, and then all of a sudden it's can't believe it's here.
I'm personally going to blame it on PlayStation. Okay.
I feel like there's a certain game that might have come out that might have affected
MLB the
that,
show. Okay. I'm not the football guy, but MLB the show, man. I'm into my 6th season as Alan Zibazinski is what they call him on the game, and so Palm Bay gets set to come out. Finally got the call up, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I tell you, man, it was quite thrilling to get the video game call up.
All the things we do in our spare time.
Yeah, right. And there probably more than you want to. As here comes Viera. And there is Palm Bay, and we are ready to go. And all that talking and jibber jabber, I completely and utterly forgot to see who won the coin toss.
I guess I should have paid more attention.
No, that's okay. You were listening to my jib jab. As we get set to go here, feel free to let us know where you're watching from. It is an interactive broadcast. We do try to address the comments from time to time. If you do comment, we simply ask that, you keep it classy, and please don't criticize the coaching or the student athletes. These student athletes play with their heart, and these coaches coach, I should say, with their heart, and they don't make a whole lot of money to do it.
All done for just the love of the game.
Yep.
Both the students, athletes, and the coaches.
Especially in this state, where, we talk about places like the Florida Coaches Coalition, but back to kick is number 14, and that's going to be Luis Martinez kicking off for Palm Bay, and cannot see who is back deep, but we'll figure it out here in just a moment. And we are underway here in the Kickoff Classic here on Brevard Sports Network. Out across the 10 to 15. The ball's out. And this is new this year, Nick. I didn't think they returned kicks in the Kickoff Classic.
I think it all depends on the 2 head coaches that are involved in the Kickoff Classic. I think if both teams are ready to go with their special teams, then that's the case.
That's the case. Okay. Well, I like to see it. In the car ride over, I was telling Drew and Jack that, the rules are a little bit different, and well, there you see first game jitters as the ball comes out. Palm Bay does recover, so the opening kickoff turnover will give this Pirate offense an opportunity just outside the Buffalo Wild Wings red zone. And here come the Pirates now for the first time in 2024 under the guidance and tutelage of offensive coordinator Mike DeGore. Quarterback set is number 7. It's going to be Christian Gonzalez. In motion is Duell Fighter Jr., the give, and Viera's defense eats it alive right there. A little handoff, a little counter back side, or near side here, Nick. And look, Viera returns 10 out of 11 on that side of the ball. Isaac Hungerbuehler, they are stacked everywhere on that defense. If you can look at this team right now, Nick, and talk about one strong suit, it's going to be that defense to start. And here's Mike DeGore's touch already on Palm Bay as they're already back to the line of scrimmage. Throws out pass, and he overthrows his intended target there, Jaden Howard. So what have you seen in 2 plays?
Well, I mean, we've seen a completely different Palm Bay offense versus last year.
Yeah.
Pound and ground last year, they had, 2,500 yards on the ground, somewhere around that. And they come out for their first 2 plays in a 2-by-2 formation. That right in itself is already a huge change.
And it's going to be 3rd down and 10 now, as they're going to have 3 wide receivers split to the far side. The one to the near side here is going to get single coverage. Gonzalez wants it. He'll get it. Takes a 2-step drop. And, again, obviously that's nerves on the overthrow because he overshot that ball by about 10 feet. And that's going to bring up 4th and 10. And immediately the Pirates will take no chances. And it looks like they're going to kick a field goal here.
Well, this is why we have Kickoff Classics, right?
Yeah.
You got to get the nerves out. Both sides look like they started off just a wee bit nervous, so we'll see how the rest of this game goes, though.
So this ball is going to be placed at about I would say the 24, 34.
20,
This is a 41, 42-yard field goal here.
Number 14.
Snap, and the kick is up, and it is good.
Hey, wow.
How about it?
Wow. Number 14, Luis Martinez.
And there is a flag down, so the players are running off the field. I can only think that it's against Viera for offsides. I wouldn't take points off the board. But I'm telling you, did you think we'd start this one with a 41-yard field goal?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If this was last year's Palm Bay, they probably would have still ran that ball and went for it.
Last year's Palm Bay, and I love Dan Burke, but the last 25 years of Palm Bay football, they would have ran the football. I mean, Dan Burke would run it down your throat for 4 downs. But right there you see, they called that against Palm Bay. A holding penalty. That's unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. That's not something you see too often on a kick.
I think when you see the young man make the 41-year field goal on a kickoff class, I think you just pick the flag up and say, sorry, my bad.
Waving it off.
So now he backs it up. He just barely made it from 41. This is going to be 46. And that has no chance. And that's blocked and scooped up. This could be 6. He's at the 30, the 20, all the way down to the 20-yard line on the block kick return. Nearly a block 6. And I believe that was number 9.
No, I think it was Noah Rennis, number 8. With
was it Noah Rennis?
With the pickup.
Noah Rennis with the pickup. And let me tell you something. Noah Rennis, he's as good as you're going to see in this count. I don't care who you're talking about. Noah Rennis is a beast. You saw it all right there. Strength, size, and speed, Nick.
Just sitting up here looking down on the field, you can just see a difference between him and many of the other players on the field. He is a man amongst boys right now.
Yes, he is. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now for Eric Nelson and the new Viera quarterback this year, as Nelson will take the field. I tell you, I'm excited to see Nelson play. I really am. Nelson going to keep it himself. It's sort of an option here.
Football.
Yeah. I like it.
I love it. I love it.
Reminds me of, now I'm going to take you back, but I just recently watched a movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about Texas football back in 1969, about Steinwick, the defensive back that, had bone cancer. But Texas ran that wishbone offense, that option wishbone, and they just destroyed people with it. That's a good play right there. That's a good pickup. That's not that, but there's 3. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Second down and 6, and this time he puts it in the belly. And that is close to a Viera first down. And we said it was going to look different this year in terms of Viera football. And there you saw 2 runs inside the Buffalo Wild Wings red zone. I like the tempo, Nick, and I also like the option.
This is great. 3rd down and short. There's nothing wrong with this type of football.
Nope. And
first down.
Yep, that's going to be a first down as the ball carrier, number 22, Kamari Ingram.
I think we've been spoiled in this county for many years with a lot of great quarterbacks, and I believe people have a misconception of high school football that everybody's throwing it for 4,000 yards every year. But the reality is high school football is still a run-based concept normally.
No doubt. And when you can do what Viera's doing right here against that's a pretty big Palm Bay defensive line.
not just defensive line, linebacker. He's thick. I mean, he's ready to fill the
Yeah.
gap.
Nelson with just Ingram now and kind of a power stack right here. Man in motion. Turns. Nelson going to keep it himself this time. Cuts back. Runs over the safety and gets down to the goal line. And it's going to be 2nd and goal for the Hawks from the 2.
He is not afraid for contact, is he?
No, he's not. He was a great receiver last year. He's an athlete. You know, they told me at media day, Coach told me, he said, you know what, Alan? He said, he's an athlete. He just likes to play. And the bottom line is that can be dangerous at the quarterback position when he learns and gets comfortable throwing it.
To be able to get the ball in that guy's hand every single play really opens things up.
2nd and goal. And right up the gut and in for a Viera touchdown.
Bubar.
Is Ryan Bubar, and Bubar, or somebody's going to get flagged there. I think it's Bubar for excessive celebration, but that'll come on the kickoff. And the Hawks, following the blocked kick, boy, that certainly changed in a hurry. That went from 3 points to a block, nearly kick 6, and then 4 plays later, 6 points for the Hawks.
Got a 10-point turnaround right there.
Sure is.
Man, we went from a fumble off the first kickoff, blocked kick, to, almost like a wing tee type of feel offense and roll right down scoring. It's good football so far.
No, it certainly is. And I think that's exactly what Tony Gulladal wanted to dial up there. And he said it wasn't going to be anything fancy. If you can stop it, then good for you. But that's what we're going to do. I'm not sure who that is. I think that might be Grant Barton, or who's that kicking?
It's hard to see from here.
Yeah, those numbers. Somebody rushing on real quick here and running back off. Welcome to the running back on. Welcome to the Kickoff Classic. You better get set here. And now we're going to get timeout. Well, that's why you do these games.
Just like we talked about. This is where you get the kinks out, right? Good thing you don't have to roll right into season. Been there, done that. I do think that was number 31, Dane Boss, trying to kick that ball before the timeout.
Oh, yeah, Dane Boss. Okay, so Dane Boss is the kicker. The guys told me that earlier. You think I would have wrote that down. But Dane Boss is the kicker. Hope you're ready for another exciting season of fall sports and here on Brevard Sports Network. If you're interested in see that Buffalo Wild Wings bottom banner on the bottom of the page, if you're interested in sponsoring sports, reach out to me at 321-693-7697. Be more than happy to add you to our ever-growing list of partners that support youth and prep sports in Brevard County. All right, here we go. As Dane Ball set for the extra point, he's just going to do it from 5 yards back. No, that wasn't a penalty. So that was good. The kick is good. And with 7:59 to play in the opening quarter, a Ryan Bubar touchdown followed by the extra point gives the Viera Hawks a 7-0 lead. As Nick and I were saying, just a pretty crazy turn of events there, as Palm Bay had to feel excited about the 41-yard field goal, and then all of a sudden the holding penalty negates that, and then the block kick. I think Hungerbuehler got to it, but Noah Rennis picked it up and ran it all the way back down inside the 20, and then 4 plays later, it was Ryan Bubar on an option handoff from Eric Nelson into the end zone for a 1-yard Viera touchdown, and that's how we got to 7-0.
So they assessed the penalty on the kickoff, so it looks like they're going to be pushing them back about 15 yards here.
Well, where were they kicking off from? Because he's got the tee on the 40. Oh, yeah, they're going all the way back to the 25. Yeah, the referee's like, what are you guys doing? Back here. Yep, back here's where you're kicking off from. Come on back. Come on back.
So Palm Bay just needs to relax here now.
What
happened. Now they're going to get an opportunity to get good field position right off the get-go of this drive and just get back to their play of football.
I'm more interested. If you're Mike DeGore, you were an offensive coordinator. What do you tell your quarterback? He overshoots his receiver 3 times there on that last drive. What are you telling him right now?
Exactly what we said earlier. Just calm down. Let's have fun. We're out here playing a game that you probably played for years, and you've thrown that pass 100 times. Just go out and have fun and relax. It's a kickoff classic game. And really, what happens here doesn't necessarily matter much.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Jack, come on up here for a second. All right, Jack, so I want to get your take on that opening sequence. What did you see? What did you like?
Well, that was a crazy opening sequence for me, starting off with that fumble on the kickoff, and then you see that blocked kick off of the penalty. It shows how costly the penalties really can be in high school football. And we saw the Hawks take it in with their new running, bruising game to take it in for that touchdown.
No doubt. And Drew, what are your thoughts?
I think this is a switch up, obviously, from last year for the Viera Hawks. I think that this running game they're gonna find some success in it, and I'm really excited to see how that goes for them for the rest of the season. But really an impressive touchdown. I like the athleticism from their quarterback.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Eric Nelson last year, a wide receiver. And that's the new guys right there. Drew and Jack spitting out some knowledge as we get going here. 1st and 10 from the 37. And we'll try this again to the other side, and this time this ball is dropped right into the belly of the intended receiver. And I like the fact that DeGore came right back with that to Jaden Howard. Comes back with it on this side, Nick.
That's exactly what you do. Calm your quarterback down. Let him have a nice, easy throw. Something, again, that he's probably thrown 100 times. Nice completion, 4 yards, and that's all you need to get started.
I also like the fact they huddle up. Even if it is a sugar huddle that time, he didn't take him right back to the line of scrimmage, maybe slowing it down just a hair. So it's going to be 2nd and 6 now, and this time it's an inside give, and we've got whistles, and we'll see why.
Looks like we got offsides on the defense.
That was Braden Cook, the ball carrier there. Last season. So that's on Viera. It's going to be 5 yards offsides. 23 trips for the Palm Bay Pirates to the FHSAA state playoffs. They're 38-23 all-time in those playoffs. And, of course, they won the 2000 6A state championship and the 2002 6A state championship.
And a lot of people still consider those teams some of the best teams that have ever played in Brevard County.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's going to be a first down on the little give up the middle, and falling ahead there for that first down was Braden Cook. You talked about we talked about this team that loved to run the football last year. 2,541 rushing yards compared to just 600 in the air.
What a world of a difference. Now they're out and spread. They got trips over there.
Wide open, and he overshot him that time again. He looks a little more comfortable right now, Nick, throwing to his right side, which is strange because throwing back to the left, he's actually throwing with his hand.
That one was a hair high, but as a receiver, you got to know. You got to be able to bring that in for your quarterback.
Yeah, you got to go get it, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. It'll be 2nd and 10, ball just on the Palm Bay side of the 50 at the 49. 6:50 to go. A Ryan Bubar 2-yard touchdown following a blocked field goal attempt. Has the Hawks ahead 7-0, and this time he throws, and oh my goodness, I was ready to call pick 6 on that one. I don't know how that ball found its way through.
That was a missile. That thing hit the window, the only window that you could have possibly hit on that slant, and he hit it.
That was Antoine Frederick on the catch, and I couldn't believe. I mean, you're right. That was a perfectly placed football, and that's got to give him some confidence.
Sometimes being able to throw that ball vertical versus horizontal, throwing motion's a little bit easier. Even though he sat it into a thin window, that throw might just be easier for him.
And we have hit the water break, I believe, at the 6:38 mark of the first quarter. And so as we look across the landscape of high school football this year, Nick, and obviously Coco's the cream of the crop this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's ridiculous how stacked the Cocoa Tigers are. But as we look across the landscape of high school football this year, if you're going to go Cocoa 1, I really like that O'Galley team this year. And I know they're on BSN tonight playing mainly, at least I hope they are. And I hope MCC is, and I hope Heritage and Rockledge are. But I just really think they have an opportunity to have a special year this year. I think, say what you will about how last season ended and the issues that they had, but I think they've put that all aside, and I'm excited to see what happens tonight against a defending state champ.
Well, a lot of people have O'Galley and Heritage kind of in that 2/3 slot in the county, so both of them have a great opportunity this season.
As the whistle blows and handoff back. That's a nice play right there. Good vision, good handoff. But I'll tell you what, Nick, you got to give the big guys a lot of credit up front for that one, as Braden Cook picks up 28 yards and a Palm Bay first down. That's great blocking up front.
Nothing gets me more excited than the big guys pulling and leading the way. I love that.
And they do have a tremendous offensive line up front, especially the two guards in the center on the interior there. Turns, gives, and they're going to run the same play the other way, but it is not greeted by the Viera defense with the same success as the last play, and young man is happy.
No motion on that play allowed the defense to really see what was going to happen. That motion can really set the defense behind.
Need one?
Palm Bay's showing right now that even though they're coming out in 2x2 and 3x1, that they're still willing to definitely run the ball.
And here's the throw to this side. And yeah, he's definitely throwing better to the right than he is back on the other side, as that pass is complete to Jaden Howard. Does she need a Viera one? She good? Okay, all right. The lady from West 2 News up here. I'm always good for the rosters. They know that.
They come looking for you.
Yeah, they do. Especially Craig Bailey. But Craig certainly is all the pictures he takes.
It's amazing.
Runs into the teeth of that defense.
But
and
they're
helmets fly.
still.
Yeah. Moving the pile. Nice run there. That's you know what that is? That is summer camp right there at its best. Don't you stop moving those knees till that whistle blows, young man.
I'll tell you what, he got another 5 yards on top of that first initial contact, maybe even 6 yards after that first initial contact. Sent up a nice 4th and short. I assume they'll probably go for it here.
It looked like number 1 on that carry, wasn't it?
I did not see.
It was either Antoine Frederick or somebody else, but I'm going to tell you, it could have been number 2 as well, Jeremiah Mitchell.
Mitchell's out there now.
Yeah. Might have got him. Did he get him? Yes, he does.
Oh, got him.
He does get him. 4th and 1, and he gets the Hawks to jump, and it'll be 1st and goal now. Half the distance will put the ball at about the 4, and Palm Bay looking for the equalizer here with 4:40 to go.
Well, there's a coaching moment for you. Another kickoff classic thought process. Coach Full will be able to pull them aside after this drive and, just remind them 4th and short. What is an offense going to do? They're going to try to bop you off sides.
Yep.
Little more traditional set here for Palm Bay.
Yeah, that's number 3, and we got whistles again, and that flag is thrown by the far side judge, and that's offsides on Viera again.
Well, that was a new quarterback, too. That was number 8, dual fighter.
Yeah, junior fighter is what they call him, junior fighter. He is he's a special athlete, heck of a basketball player, good football player. And that was a touchdown because that hole parted like the Red Sea there, and they just went right through it.
After being 2x2 and 3x1 this whole game, they come out to a set like that, it really threw that defense off.
And it's fighter again under center.
Same
with
set, other side.
3 backs in the backfield, and the give is to the deep back. And this time, Viera eats it alive to the right-hand side as, is that Hungerbuehler? No. I think it is Hungerbuehler in there on the stop as he brings down Jaden Howard, the ball carrier. And now it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 4. for Palm Bay. They're in white with the black helmets. Last year they went back to that traditional pirate instead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneer-looking pirate. And Viera, of course, in the gray pants and black jerseys with black helmets. I can't imagine that that's cool.
Still pretty hot outside.
Yes, it is. And this time Fighter rolls, and he's being pursued by Hungerbuehler. Great backside block, legal block, too. That's a legal block and a great one. But the Viera defense picks up Hungerbuehler on the chase, and they'll register what's going to be at least an 18, 19-yard loss. Great play by that Hawks defense.
Man, I thought he was going to get out of there for a second, but that's Hawks swarmed. 2-3 guys in the backfield. Hard to stop that.
Isaac kind of laid there for a minute. I knew he wasn't hurt, because if you know Isaac, you knew he wasn't hurt. But 13-yard loss on the play. Incredible play by the defense. And I think the one thing Mike DeGore will tell Jr. is just throw the football out of bounds there. If there's one spot you can ill afford to lose yards, and that's goal-to-go situations.
Well, that might be some practice rep issues right there, too. You know, you don't often get your number 2 that many reps in those situations.
Gonzalez back in at quarterback, looking to throw. He does, wide open, beautiful pass on the flat. Touchdown, Palm Bay Pirates on a beautiful little, just let him out there in the flat, Nick.
Just like a little wheel route.
Yeah.
You know, he was out wide open the entire time. Great read by the quarterback.
And with 2:27 to go, it's 7-6. Who was that, number 6, too?
I think so.
Well, I think if it was 2, it was Jeremiah Mitchell. If it was 6, it was Trey Hill. But nonetheless, it's 7-6, and the Pirates are right back in it.
That's a great way to answer right there after that block kick and giving up that what seemed to be easy touchdown. You know, to come back right down the field and score. That's a huge confidence booster for Palm Bay.
And Luis Martinez boots it through with the left foot, and with 2:27 to play here in the opening quarter. Listen, Nick, 2 clean drives there. I mean, we saw penalties from Viera, but I'm talking from an offensive perspective. What I really liked is what wasn't working. They were able to go to something else and get it to work. And then once the quarterback settled down, was able to hit that little wheel route there out of the backfield for the touchdown. Didn't overthrow the ball. So DeGore found a way to settle his quarterback down.
What shows me here already is organization. You can tell both teams are organized. They've got their personnel out. Everybody knows who's supposed to be where and what they're supposed to be doing. It doesn't look like anybody's confused. So that's impressive coming right out of camp like this.
That's a great point. Alan Slaughter-Zinski, Nick Donahue, Drew Newland, and Jack Grimison with you here from Hawk Stadium tonight. And here is the kick. Ball's fielded at the 5. And this is broken. And still on his feet, out across the 50. And still going out all the way down to the, the 46-yard line. Great kickoff return by number 4. And is that Jonah Woodruff? Jonah Woodruff on the return there. Good job by Jonah there.
Tackled by number 24. We don't have his name on the roster, but it was pretty impressive. He's a big guy, and he was able to catch up to the returner.
Great job by Jonah. Jonah refused to go down there.
That was impressive. His great cuts while staying vertical. It was nice.
He is a tough lacrosse player, too. He'll put his nose in anywhere on that field. You see him lining up in the slot there, 2 wide receivers each side. Nelson Gibbs gets outside, scoots down the sidelines, cuts back, doesn't go out. Bubar still going. Bubar all the way down to about the 15. We'll call it the 16. And the Viera Hawks are right back at it, moving the football on the ground, Nick.
Man, I've been watching Bubar since youth ball, and he's had the same running style. It's amazing how he can plant his foot while still going full speed and making those cuts.
And Viera confidently back at the line of scrimmage again. Eric Nelson with Bubar behind him. We're going to have a 4 wide receiver set. It's going to be 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Nelson, 143 this time He gives up the gut, and Bubar breaking a tackle in the backfield. Should have been stopped back there as he gets away from the big man and winds and twists and turns. At least gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 now.
Man, that could have easily been a 4-yard loss right there. Movement after contact, those type of things are gigantic. Having a 2nd and 10 versus a 2nd and 14, that's big.
Yeah, it's huge. Changes, you're absolutely right. Changes the whole mindset of the play call. You're right.
A 2nd down and 10, you can still have a pretty open playbook. 2nd down and 14, you're looking to get 7-8 yards on your next play. It's a big difference.
We haven't seen the ball in the air yet from Viera. Can you remember the last time we've seen 6-7 plays from a Viera offense and not one of them was in the air?
I don't think I can think of a single
I don't
time.
think so either. I don't think so either.
No, not at all.
Now I'm going to tell you how old I feel right now, right? I'm looking down. Like, this gentleman's got a Georgia Bulldog McConkey jersey on, right?
Yep.
So the McConkey I think of is Phil McConkey from the New York Giants, right? Not the McConkey the jersey represents. Remember Phil McConkey?
You got to stop dating yourself.
I can't help it, man. I can't help it. 2nd down and 10. We'll see if Tony Gullah goes in the air here as Eric Nelson rolls right. And you know what? That's a great read by Nelson. Outstanding read. And the tackle really couldn't do anything there, Nick, because if he went left, then Nelson did exactly what he did to him and cut back. But the two backs went uncovered by the secondary there.
I can't imagine in Palm Bay's preparation that they worked on covering the read option.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I know they knew it wasn't going to be a high-flying passing attack coming from Viera, but without any prior knowledge of what they're going to run, which you normally get, in a football game, I cannot imagine that they worked on that. So
yeah,
that shows, what a great read, though, by Nelson.
It sure was. That's the read. The defensive end is always the read on that play. Oh, my, look at this. Touchdown, Viera. What a play, Nick.
Set it up. They spent the first quarter, running that ball that way with a quick toss reverse going the other way. They set a whole quarter up for that one play right there.
I think that's Cooper Keith on the touchdown, number 7 there. And that was a beautiful play. And the Hawks answer right back. And we got us a good one here.
Cooper Keith is going to be huge for Viera this year. He's both offense and defense. He is a all-athlete, all-sport athlete, great basketball player, great kid too. Young man.
Young man, yeah.
And he's going to be huge for them this year.
Cooper Keith on the touchdown. And really nobody was home because it was a great fake. Kick is up. And Dane Boss boots it through. And with 28 seconds to play here, we have 21 points scored, 1 touchdown pass, and it didn't come from the team you would think it would normally come from.
What a change.
Welcome to 2024.
I'm very impressed by both teams so far.
I am too.
Very impressed.
What you know what I can tell? You can tell how well coached both of them are.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Now let me ask you this. As a coach, does it make you want to get – when you see well-coached teams, you always think to yourself, that's a staff I'd like to be a part of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even when you're on the other sideline, you can look at the other sideline and know how well a team is coached and enjoy that while still playing against them.
Yep. I want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings, our first quarter sponsor tonight, of course, Buffalo Wild Wings. Great food, great wings, great time, as many TVs as you want with all the sporting events on. I stopped in there a couple of weeks ago during the Olympics, and it was like Olympic heaven, if that was your thing.
Every TV on a different Olympic sport,
different
I'm
Olympic
sure.
sport. It was crazy. And line drive kick fielded at the 10. Ball's out. Ball's out. I think Viera, somehow Palm Bay ends up with it. I said that's 6 black jerseys, and somehow Palm Bay came away with that. But nonetheless, it'll be Palm Bay ball, 1st and 10 at the 28.
Boy, that looked exactly like the first play from scrimmage. Identical. Same type of tackle, same type of reach. Obviously, 2 different teams.
Sure.
But identical.
Yeah. Coming up after the game tonight, an hour after this game tonight, we'll be live from the Brevard Sports Network studios as we will have the Natwick post-game show sponsored by Florida Air and Heat. So make sure we'll recap tonight's games and talk about what we saw here tonight as Palm Bay lines up now, looking more like Viera, with Viera looking like Palm Bay. And this is a jet sweep here, and Viera reads it well. And that'll be a gain of about maybe 2, as the ball carrier there was number 2. That was Jeremiah Mitchell. And that'll bring up actually no gain, so it's still 2nd and 10, so he gets no credit. I thought he got at least a yard.
I thought so, too. He did fall forward, so
yeah.
maybe he stopped him from losing yards.
That'll take us to the end of the first quarter with your score. The Viera Hawks get into the end zone on 2 rushing touchdowns, Ryan Bubar and Cooper Keith, and a touchdown pass by Palm Bay from quarterback Christian Gonzalez. And it's 14-7. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. You're watching Brevard County High School football here on Brevard Sports Network. All right, second quarter ready to get underway here, and it is underway. And the first play of the second quarter is a handoff up the gut, and that goes exactly for as many yards as the last play of the first quarter went, and it'll be 3rd and 8. I tell you what, I'm going to have these guys before when the change of possession. Don't go anywhere yet. I'm going to have you guys recap what you thought of the first quarter here in just a second. Jack and Drew.
J&J.
As Gonzalez rolls. Oh, my! He is struck, and that's Isaac Hungerbuehler, and they're going to say that's a helmet-to-helmet hit. I don't like the call, but he's closer than I am. That'll be 15 yards and a Palm Bay first down.
You know, we got to remember these refs are going to protect these quarterbacks no matter what.
I'm for it. Look, I'm for it, and Isaac. If you know Isaac, that's what he does, right? But the crowd's not going to like it. We're not going to like it. But I guarantee you it's the right call.
Yeah, 100%. You know, leading with that helmet just enough, making that helmet-to-helmet contact. You know, again, they're gonna try to protect the quarterbacks.
And I don't blame them. So that's 15 yards. All right, guys. Jack, you're going to go first. That's all right. I'm just going to give them. Oh, yeah.
No, let him go take it.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, guys, go ahead. Recap the first quarter.
Well, what I'll say is that Viera really came away with the victory in the first quarter. I don't know about you, what you think about that, Drew, but I really saw them have the more explosive plays. You know, despite that fumble on the opening kickoff, they really came back with a vengeance with that offense, and their defense has been looking very well. You know, they're just stopping that run right there, and they're driving them back 4 more yards past that. I just thought they were doing very well.
You know what, Graham? I 100% agree with you there. I think that there is definitely a lot more explosive plays from the Hawks, and I honestly, coming into this game, was thinking that was going to be the Palm Bay team that we are watching right now. However, that has not been the case, and it has almost seemed like these running plays is just what's been saving Viera. We have, rushing touchdown, and then very early on in the first quarter, and then we have another rushing touchdown at the end. Like they're closing off a quarter. A good lead. I'm liking what Viera's doing right now.
Well, I thought Palm Bay would be hammering the run a lot more, too. And what I'm really seeing happening is they're going for a lot of screen passes, and they're just not breaking through this Viera defensive line and these Viera linebackers. And they're really getting in there and filling up those gaps, stopping the run.
I agree with you, man.
Nice job, man.
Gentlemen, good
There
job.
we go. There we go, guys. All right. So you guys want to go take in some of the Friday night lights, enjoy yourself, and come on back at the end of the second quarter. At the end of halftime, now's the time to do that. And that will be is that a first down?
That's a first down. What a run by number 8.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a good play there. And number 8
Junior.
is Duell, junior fighter again, getting out there and making things happen. And that Viera defense got right in there after the 15-yard penalty, but Palm Bay didn't panic, did they?
You know, there's a lot of different thought processes with these Kickoff Classic games. You know, a lot of offensive coaches don't necessarily want to show their entire playbook. There's some main stuff that they want to work on, but they're willing to not necessarily win this game just so they don't have to show their entire playbook to their first weak opponent.
I think what we're seeing right now from this veteran defense of Viera, Nick, is we're seeing them win a play or two, and at least on this drive, and then Palm Bay, you know, on the last little series there, won the series. It's not over yet, but I want to see this veteran defense finish.
Well, you know, just as much as Palm Bay didn't have the opportunity to work on a read option, you know, for their defense,
right?
Viera necessarily hasn't worked on a 2x2, 3x1 formation versus.
Oh, that's a pick.
Oh, what a pick! What a pick!
And that's one of the things this secondary does really, really well. That's who is that?
Looks like number 17.
Number 17 is Robbie Caruso. Robbie Caruso, I thought it was 11, but Jack's not playing. Robbie Caruso with the pick. Last year, this secondary, they picked off a lot of passes for as young as they are. Got players like Caruso and Leone, and just a great job by them last year. And right there, look, I know Gonzalez is going to want that pass back. He threw it. But as a DB, you still got to catch the ball. He catches it, he hangs on to it, and Viera's got it back now.
You know, one of the things about this Viera program is the feeder league that they have. So a lot of these kids have been playing football for a very long time. Maybe they haven't had the opportunity to show it in the varsity level, but they've been playing football for a long time.
Christian Fuller, the defensive coordinator, very excited down there on the sidelines with Coco 30-0 over Satellite at the moment. But I'm trying to find out exactly. Last year, this Viera defense had 20 sacks, 85 tackles for a loss, and 12 interceptions. Anytime you can get an interception per game at the high school level and 7 fumble recovers. They were a +3 in turnover margin last year, despite the fact that they threw 15 interceptions.
Right.
So that's pretty impressive, and they're off to a good start here this season.
You know, like we talked about at the pregame, the defense is what's gonna make this team go home. So we'll see it work.
8:48 to play in quarter number 2 here.
We are spread. We are.
Well, I mean, this is as spread as we've seen them since the Kevin Mays days.
3x2 stacked up in the middle.
You think Mike Gorey knows what play's coming? Nelson throws, and that should have been caught. Was dropped.
Oh, late flag.
And there is a flag down.
Boy, I feel like they had that set up too.
Yeah, they did. I can't read the comments, so I hope nobody's killing us.
Well, if they are, it's on me, I'm sure.
No, I doubt it. I wholeheartedly doubt it. Like, who's that Nick guy? Now there we go. Allen's, yes, Jeff Fursick. It is myself and Mr. Nick. Heritage leading Rockledge 14-0.
I appreciate everybody listening tonight.
Yeah, man. Nelson throws. Oh, my. You know what? That was a great pass by him.
That was a great pass. The receiver felt the footsteps of that safety, though. I think he short-armed it a little bit. But that was a great pass. That thing was a missile.
Yeah, it
right
was.
on the money of where it needed to be, you know.
He's impressed me tonight. I'm telling you, that's a lot of people think that an option offense is an easy offense to run. It's not.
It is not.
My first year in high school, I had to run a Delaware. Are you ready for this? A Delaware wing tee.
Oof.
Now,
Oof.
I'm telling you, man, throw the Delaware in front of the wing tee, and it complicates it even more.
You got 11 guys moving 11 different directions.
Yes.
All ending up in the same spot. It's pretty impressive.
My coach was,
Here we go again.
well, he was old. Oh, picked off right into the hands of the Palm Bay linebacker, and this could be a pick six. He gets down to the 1. Great pick. Is that Jacob Day?
Jacob Day.
Jacob Day, the defensive MVP from last season, nearly with a pick six, and it's going to be first and goal, Palm Bay.
I'll tell you, that's one of the toughest things about being a quarterback is not staring down your receiver. You know, that takes reps upon reps upon reps to be able to look otherwise and know where your receiver is going to be and look at him late. He unfortunately stared that receiver down, and the linebacker saw it.
Well, that's something you learn, and you learn in this game. And when he sits down to go over the film, I know they'll show him that.
And he'll learn from it. He's a great kid. Sorry, young man.
It's all right. You'll learn too. I had to get you. And turns gives.
Power set again.
And see, here's the learning experience here. Up the middle. There's no reason to cut that outside. That's Jaden Howard. You're going to get in, look, come on. It's day one math, right? The quickest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Take it up the middle.
Yeah, looking at that play, though, I believe it was designed to be outside, so I think he was just following his coach's orders. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
A true offensive coordinator would bust on me for that, like you just did. It's going to be second and goal. I believe he lost a yard. That was a good one, though. Set myself up for that.
Uh-oh, number 3's coming out.
Yeah, well, maybe he didn't follow his coach's orders. He'll be back. Great player.
I think we had a helmet issue there.
Oh, did we? Okay. Yeah, and that's the one rule. I really love that rule at every level. The helmet comes off, you come out.
Absolutely.
And this is 3 backs in the backfield. Junior Fighter, the quarterback. Fighter turns, gives, straight up the gut, in.
There you go.
There you go,
there
baby.
You go.
Touchdown, Palm Bay Pirates. And with 7:20 to go, it's 14-13.
Power football. There's nothing like it when you're on the 1 yard line.
Yep.
Hand that ball to your fullback. Let him just fall forward at the least.
Didn't anybody warn you guys?
We get kind of excited.
Well, we always got to break in a new batch of people that sit in front of the press box every year. Snap the hold, the kick is up, and it is good.
Not by much.
No, it wasn't. He moonshotted that one. 14-14, 7:20 to play in the first half. And if you told me there'd be 28 points scored in the first half of this one tonight, I probably would have said you're not broadcasting with me.
I would totally agree.
I would not have guessed that.
This is what makes Friday Night Lights so amazing.
Yep.
Anything on any given Friday.
Yeah, it usually takes about every year when we have the press box, right? It's fun to have to whisper because I don't want them to turn around and get mad at me, right? But you have to whisper, right? And so it usually takes about till the third game, if that's where they're going to sit every week, that they really literally learn your personality. Or you look and you go, "There's nobody sitting in front of me for 3 rows."
Open seats in front of you.
And here we go. And there's the kick.
No, offsides.
Yeah, or we could have the instance like we had at Trinity Catholic a couple of years ago. Well, that was a good one. I tried to get off the air. I was over there for a Cocoa Tiger playoff football game, and Cocoa was just wearing them out. I mean, wearing them out. And I could tell. I mean, listen, let me just say this. I didn't do myself any favors. Okay? Because I could tell, and they were saying stuff to start. So when Coco started wearing them out, I started leaning a little hard on the touchdown.
Oh, man, in the press box on the home side.
I needed, you guys should go back and listen to the end of that one. I needed an escort to get out of there.
I can imagine. That's probably not the first and probably not the last, though. I can guarantee you that.
Offsides will back it up 5 yards. Can you hand me that other water there? Yes, sir. You got water? All right.
I was prepared. I learned my lesson that the semi-pro game.
And that's a short kick. He rainbowed that one again, but picked up at the 22, out across the 30, and he'll be dropped at the 31, and that's where the Viera offense will take over with 7:10 to play in the opening quarter, or the opening half.
Interesting to see if they'll just go right back to the run game or if they'll still give Nelson some opportunity to throw this ball.
I think, let me ask you this as a former coordinator. I think we only saw the ball in the air there just because of the down in the distance, but I think you're right. I think you have to build his confidence because you're going to have to throw the football this year. So would you throw a pass in this series?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would
throw passes in every single series today.
I would too.
Because the reality is again, it doesn't mean anything when it's all said and done.
Right.
Everybody's 0-0 starting tomorrow.
It's 100% right. So it's going to be 2 wide receivers split equally to each side. Well, not equally, but to give it to Bubar up the middle, and Bubar will pick up maybe 1 if he's lucky. And inside there, you can see big number 99, and that's Demarion Harp. And listen, Harp has got all the size and the tools. He needs a big year performance-wise, because if he can do that, he's going to begin to pick up those D1P4 offers, Nick.
He is gigantic.
Yeah.
You look at him down there, and even next to his fellow D lineman, you can just see the difference.
So it'll be 2nd and 8 now for Viera, and we're going to get 2-by-1. 2 wide receivers on the far side of the field. Now we got a receiver in motion, and this is going to be Nelson on an option keep, and he'll get out across the 35 to the Hawks, and it'll bring up 3rd about 4, maybe 5. Well, we'll call it a long 4, short 5.
Now, I'll tell you, if this was a regular season football game, I probably wouldn't run another play other than the read this option football that they're running.
I'm interested to see, because on the last series when he threw the football, they were straight passes. I'm interested to see the passing plays off this option that they do.
Absolutely. Well, we saw the reverse off of it, and that scored that touchdown. So, I'm sure Gola has some passing plays based off of this offense too.
I want to thank Global Polygraph Analysis. Check them out online at gpa2019.com for more information. There you see the number, 877-5105. 3rd and 4. Turns, gives, big back, tall legs, flag thrown, hold, coming back.
That's tough. That's a first down run too.
Yeah. And I know it's a bad time to praise them because of the hold, but last year Gulla's offensive line, and here's the thing that I really love about the Viera offensive line is who's coaching them, and that's Chris Murphy, 2019 graduate offensive lineman. Chris Murphy is the coach out there, and they got guys on the field here. And I think we're going to get the water break with 5:22 to go, so it's a great time to tell this story. Last year, this was a unit that had some older guys up front, but they got hurt. Mm-hmm. So freshmen were forced to play, and those guys were forced to play all season long. And now you look at that offensive line, and it's juniors and sophomores, and it's a good offensive line. We see them moving big players up front like Demarion Harp, and so with the assumption of health, that can be a very potent rushing attack this year.
Just looking at them last year, from their first game to their last game, that offensive line was a whole different squad, not as in personnel, but as in quality. They started out, and the season was a little rough to start out in general, but they started out, and it was tough. But as that season progressed, you saw the growth there.
You got Sam Cardona, 250, 6'5". Finn Goldinger, Finn still got the best line I've ever heard in an interview. I'll tell you about it after this one. 3rd down, Nelson rolls near side, looking, throws.
There it is.
And, catches it off the tip. Great concentration on the nice catch off the tip by Cooper Keith again.
Again, he's going to be huge.
And that's a first down for Viera. Not a lot on that ball, which caused it to get tipped. He looked like he was kind of winded there at the end of the play. The ball gets off. It's tipped by a Palmdale defender, and Cooper Keith keeps the presence of mind to haul it in, and it's 1st and 10 for the Hawks at the 48.
Well, you said you wanted to see the pass play off that.
There
of
it
that
was.
Offense. There
There it was. Yep. Finn Goldinger, when he played Little League Baseball, I asked him one time to introduce himself, and he said, this was 6-7 years ago, and he said, "My name is Finn. All I do is hit Goldingers." 1st and 10. Nelson, play action here, and that's what that is. Wide open is Cooper Keith. Caught, and Keith down to the 22-yard line. And Cooper Keith and Eric Nelson, they got a little something going here.
This is what a running offense can do to a defense. They can lull a defense to sleep. The defense.
This is going to be for excessive celebration.
Right.
This is going to be 15 yards and back them up.
But the defense can really fall asleep, looking for that run. The safeties are always feeling like they need to go fill the box. And then all of a sudden, boom, 30-yard pass.
I think, listen, I get that. And again, listen, last week, everybody said, "Damn, you're always so hard on the referees." Well, that's true. But I love them all. And the MCOA does a terrific job. And I'm not sure exactly what the call was there, but the ball, did he back it up 10 yards? I'm not sure what he did.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like that's where Cooper Keith caught the ball. But anyway, it's 1st and 10. Probably like, "Shut up, Allen, you'll figure it out." Give this time to Boobar. Boobar with a hole up the middle, and Boobar with 7 yards, 6 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 3 for Boobar and this Hawks offense. And Eric Nelson leading the charge here. That time right behind Finn, all he does is hit Goldingers. Man in motion. And Nelson again.
Oh, that's a lucky.
He had it for a split second. That's a great read by the linebacker there. Not to bite. He doesn't. And he pulls down Nelson, who still picks up the first down. But if the linebacker doesn't grab him, that's a touchdown.
That's an absolute touchdown. Only one other guy out there, the safety, and, that's a tough matchup right there. But that linebacker saved that touchdown.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 now, and the ball is inside the global polygraph analysis red zone here as Palm Bay is going to take a timeout. And I think that's a good timeout by head coach Mitchell Brown. And I asked Mitch if he was going to call the defense this year, and he's not. He's going to be the head coach. And I like how a first-year head coach is doing this. He's got Mike DeGore as the assistant head coach, offensive coach. Stuart Brown, another former Palm Bay grad, is coaching the quarterbacks. Beta's coaching the O-line. Brian Bender on the O-line. Alan Smith's the JV head coach. Ray Watkins is the defensive coordinator. So that's who the defense is talking to right now. I'll tell you, Palm Bay's got an interesting game coming up a little bit later on this year right here in, I believe it's in Brevard County, this one is. And that is Baker County. That's at Baker County coming up in a couple of weeks. And Mike DeGore and a couple of those guys will go play against their former buddy, Kevin Mays.
I know. What a great setup.
Yeah. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now for Nelson, who is in the gun, in an option gun, an RPO, if you will, run pass option.
5 yards on first down. That's huge.
You take it all day, all day. 3 minutes, 7 seconds to play here in the first half. And coming up at halftime, you will hear the band perform. If they perform on the band, we'll unplug and we'll leave it going so that you can hear the band, because we want to try to do that this year. So we are not responsible for the background noise. I cannot control that. 2nd and 6. As the lights come on. Nelson with a good fake, looking, great pursuit, throws, caught, and cuts back.
Wow.
Great broken tackle, and it'll be close to, if not a Palm or Viera first down, and it will be 1st and goal at the 5. Great move by the receiver.
Well, not just the receiver, but Nelson too. I thought the defender had him dead to rights in the backfield, and falling away, throws that ball. That's an impressive throw.
And I like the command Nelson has of this offense. There's 2:15 to go. He's not in a big hurry here. He knows he's got time. They only have one timeout left, though, so they want to use that wisely.
2 minutes left.
Noah
looking to use all this time clock right here.
And look at big Noah Rennis back there. You know it's Noah because he's the biggest guy on the field. And Noah, my goodness gracious, did you see Noah Rennis blow up the tackle?
My Lord.
Touchdown, Viera.
I mean, he just pretty much swallowed up that defender.
Holy cow, did he blow up the whoever that was. That's Ryan Bubar, I think, that scored. And it is 20 to – I'm going to pull that clip tonight.
Man.
I want to see that. That was absolutely something to see right there. Noah Rennis. And that wasn't no small guy he blew up either.
And that just shows you how bought in these kids are. And it's really tough, every year to get, with a blocked kick
it was offsides. And they roughed the kicker, so he'll be kicking from just underneath the goalpost now.
To get a kid like that to block like that, to buy really into what the program's doing. That's
What's
impressive.
he, a junior or a sophomore?
I think he's a junior. I had it written down.
And you knew he was going to do something like that when he came on. The first time we've seen him back there, or, noticeably saw him back there like that, and he just absolutely destroyed the defender right there.
I love to see it.
So with 1:50 to go, it's 20-14 Viera, and now because they'll be at the half-foot line, it looks like they're going to go for two here.
I do think so. I think this is a good call. Your running game's been pretty solid the whole game so far. No reason not to think that you're not going to make this happen.
Oh, they're going to reverse it, and Cooper Keith's going to get in, and that's a 2-point conversion, and that's the same play he scored a touchdown on.
Same exact play, absolutely.
Yep. With 1:50 to go, Viera takes an 8-point, 22-14 lead. Welcome back. Here as Viera takes a 20. You know what? 36 points scored here in the first half between Viera and Palm Bay. It's just a good football game, and I hope you're enjoying it at home as well. And we're still in marvel over Noah Rannis and what he did on that touchdown run and the block he threw and how he measured it up, lined it up, and executed it. And here's the kick. The ball would be fielded at about the 12-yard line. This is junior Fighter. Fighter is out. Fighter, if he gets a step, he could go. Fighter is at the 30. He's at the 20, and he is caught. Wow. And that's a fantastic run back. And I apologize, but that's Jaden Howard, not junior Fighter. So Jaden Howard gets the ball all the way down to the Viera 30, and that's the thing that has cost Viera tonight at times is special teams.
I'll tell you what, 1:38 left in this half. For that to happen is just a world of a huge help for them.
Yeah, no, I mean both teams tonight in terms of kick coverage and have made mistakes. Now let's see if Palm Bay can let's see if the offense can reward Jaden Howard for his return. Nothing drives coaches crazier when you get 65-yard returns and you can't move the ball 10 yards, taking over 1st and 10 at the 20.
As an offensive coordinator, if you can't put some yards on the books now with your offense, boy, you just get hot.
Because as a fan, nothing drives me crazier, And Christian Rodriguez, Gonzalez, I should say, Christian Gonzalez throws. Nice job by Gonzalez to get that ball through traffic and arms. I don't know how he completed that through Hunger Bueller's arm.
That was about an inch and a half away from being a pick six.
But if Hunger Bueller closed his arms, he'd still be running.
I believe so.
but that's a nice pass and a nice completion. It's going to be 2nd down and 5-4 now for Palm Bay with $1:16 to go. And again, no panic here as they look to try to even the score. Viera up by 8, and they got him again. They got them again to jump. That'll stop the clock, and that will be a Palm Bay first down.
You know, as a defensive lineman, that's tough. You know the offense is moving fast. You know there's only about a minute left on the clock. So you believe in your brain, you assume that they're just going to snap the ball because they need to get moving,
Right.
That's a tough penalty, though. The first down, 1 minute left. Great setup for Palm Bay here.
So it's now 1st and goal, ball at about the 9.5-yard line. And Christian looks, he throws, and too far on the quick out there. On the incomplete pass, it'll be 2nd down and goal. We talked about Palm Bay's playoff history. Viera, in their short period of time, has been to a state championship. They didn't win it, but as Drew and Jack were talking about before the game, they had the unfortunate task of going up against that first St. Thomas Aquinas team with Bosa on it.
Unbelievable that team was.
Throws, and that's a nice little pass there.
What a cut.
And what a cut there. And 10 of the 11 Viera defenders hawk down on the pass catcher there, and it'll be 3rd and goal. But the football sits at about the 2 now.
34 seconds left, Coach. What are we doing here?
That pass is caught by Braden Cook, and now Mitchell Brown or Mike DeGore or somebody thereof takes a timeout with 29 seconds to go. So
Great
what are
timeout
you going to call here?
Well, let's see. 3rd down. So you got 2 downs. I'd probably stick with what's been working well here.
I'm going to throw that little wheel route again out of the backfield. Maybe a little hitch back there by that pylon there. See if I can sneak somebody back there on a little hitch or something.
Well, it's on the hash, so you got a ton of room to play with on the field side. So that's probably what I would do also. I'd probably take that wheel, work them out to the open field.
Drop it in and pick up 6. And then I don't know that you necessarily go for 2 here.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't know what that thing was that just hit the window, but I sure am glad it didn't fly all the way in.
I think the dragonflies are getting bigger and bigger.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, was that an event the other night, man, where there was a bat? And I was like, yeah, no, not my cup of tea.
All right, they're going to their ground and pound offense.
Yeah, looks like it. And Junior Fighter will be the quarterback, sort of a wishbone set, if you will. Fighter turns, gives up the gut. They did this last time. Will it work this time? Tush push inside. Does he get in? I can't see how he didn't. And that's got to be a touchdown. It looked like that ball crossed.
I don't think they're calling it. I think they're calling it down.
And they're going to call him down. It's going to be 4th and goal with 14 seconds to go. And if they got
10 seconds,
and DeGore's telling them they got to hustle back to the line and snap the ball, they may not do it. 4 seconds, 3. They're not going to get it off. 2 seconds, 1 second, no timeouts, and that is the end of the half. And unfortunately, you got to tell him, and I'm sure Coach DeGore did. There's no doubt in my mind. Coach DeGore told his offense coming out of that timeout there, look, if we don't get in, don't worry about trying to push. Get right back to the line of scrimmage and get on the ball. But we have reached halftime here at Viera High School, and it has been an outstanding first half of Kickoff Classic football with the Viera Hawks leading it 22-14. All right, we will leave the camera on for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime show coming up with the Viera Marching Band as we thank Global Polygraph Analysis for their support and sponsorship of youth and prep sports. So as soon as the band starts playing, we'll unmute it and we'll be back. Viera 22, Palm Bay 14.
The brass captains are Devin Miller and Marcus Palermo. The woodwind captains are Alex McVie and Maddie Sokol, and the band captain is Hans Hernandez. The Marching Hawks Field Show is titled Time Marches On, with tonight's performance featuring Clocks by Coldplay and Good Riddance by Green Day. Drum majors, is your band ready?
Man, so just try to scroll down a little bit.
Marching Hawks, you may now begin your performance.
Hit more maybe?
It says videos and mentions.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more hand for your Viera High School Marching Hawks. All proceeds from the concession stand go to support the band and orchestra programs of Viera High School. Your support is greatly appreciated. Discount cards and memorial pillows and tote bags from our old marching band uniform set are for sale down at the concession stand as well.
Here, and I think we're back live here, and good halftime show for the Viera Hawk Marching Band, and they'll have 5 more opportunities this season here at home. But, Nick, what has impressed me here tonight is this football game. It's 22-14 at the half, and I tell you what, this is not what I expected to see tonight. Yeah, we've had penalties, but we saw the little time management mishap at the end of the first half there. But what we have seen are 2 well-coached football teams out there executing fundamental football at times.
I couldn't agree more. As an offensive guy, 14-22 at half is very exciting for me. I know it's not so much as those defensive guys out there, but I love it. I love the offense. I love both teams are really putting it out there. Not necessarily showing everything, but doing what they do well offensively. Yeah,
and so I'm tickled. I mean, I really am, because the one thing that you always want to see new head coaches succeed. I wanted to see Gullah succeed, obviously, and I want to, of course, see Mitchell Brown succeed. And you always worry about, the defense for Palm Bay was going to be good. You knew that defense was going to be good for Viera. But I worried about the offenses for both these teams, for both these coaches. And you know what? Gullah and his staff tonight, and you look at offensive court. Well, Gullah is the guy calling the plays, but you look at the system they have developed for their personnel. I absolutely think it's a match. And you look at what Mike DeGore and Mitchell Brown have done for Palm Bay, and it's a match.
There's a lot of guys that know a lot about football out there. But the big thing to me about these coaches are to be able to adjust their offenses and defenses around the personnel that they have. There's a lot of people out there that know the spread extremely well, the air raid, or the wing tee or the double wing, but they might not know any other aspect or comfortable teaching any other aspect of those type of offenses.
Yeah.
So to be able to conform your offense around what you have this year versus last year versus the year before, that's a big deal.
Yeah. As we get set for second half kickoff, and like I said, for some reason I just can't see the comments, and I'll have to figure out why. But I'm trying to figure out what the scores are throughout the rest of. So let's see what we got here. Somebody's already O'Galley has already gone to another stream. Lake Brantley and MCC's 24-6. MCC over Lake Brantley in the second.
Did you see the First Academy score yesterday?
No. Yeah, I did. Heritage is up 21-0 on Rockledge at halftime. Yeah, against that NFL Pro thing.
No, no, that was the other game playing. But they were playing on a team called Tomo or Tomu or something like that.
Okay, no, what was the score?
72-13.
Wow. What's the Cocoa Satellite score? Uh-oh. And brought down at the 50, and that's the second. Oh, ball's out. I think he was down.
He was down,
yeah.
Definitely. Great return, though.
Yes, it was.
Great way to start.
And it gives them magnificent field positions. The ball will be placed on the Viera side of the football field at about the 49-yard line.
Well, I know what goal is going to work on this week. I know there will be a mad emphasis on kick coverage and special teams.
Absolutely.
By the way, Little League World Series, Florida's winning 2-0.
All right, go Lake Mary, right?
Yep.
I think they're 1-0 already there.
Yeah, I did watch some of that.
I was watching Mexico yesterday, and that kid that was pitching was unbelievable. Unbelievable. 1st and 10, ball dead on the 50. Turns, throws, fires, and that's a nice little bubble screen. Let's go pick up 7-8 yards.
There we go. What a great start. Great return on the kickoff, and now 8 yards on 7-8 yards on the first down. They're ready to rock and roll out of this half.
I don't know about that spot. 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4 for Palm Bay. Looked like you got a little further up than that. And you can tell that Christian Gonzalez has settled down because he threw that pass over his receiver's head for 3 times to start the game.
On that same side.
Yep. 21-0 Heritage over Rockledge. We'll get your take on that one in a minute. 2nd and 4. As Gonzalez throws.
No.
Oh! Cooper Keith almost had him.
He read that.
Yeah, pick 6. And, normally I would say That's why they play DB. But Cooper Keith is a two-way player who's a pretty good wide receiver, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want that one back.
Boy, he read that from the snap of the ball. I think he saw the end zone before he really had caught that ball. So.
Yeah. Stacks, 2x2 each side. Gonzalez again this time gets it out to Junior Fighter, and Fighter is immediately brought down. That's good pursuit by that Viera defense, and I believe James Olsen, one of the captains, gets in there on the stop. Good job coming back over. Now it's going to be 4th and 4, and I think it's a go-for-it situation.
I do think so, too. But I think what we've seen so far from Palm Bay is they're not showing everything.
No.
You can absolutely tell they're sticking with a certain set of plays and, picking whichever one of those plays matches the down and distance best and then running with that.
I think that's smart. I think there's a couple of teams in the county doing that tonight. And I think you're looking at another one on the other side of the ball.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, and you agree or disagree with me, but I'm going to tell you what caused Christian Gonzalez. And it's funny watching Nick up there because Nick just put his hands on his face like an offensive coordinator. But I know why you're doing that. You're doing that because he got indecisive at just the wrong time. He knew who he wanted to throw the ball to and then changed his mind at the last minute.
So what's really tough about a quarterback, and especially a quarterback that may not have had a ton of reps, is not getting happy feet in the pocket.
Right.
Being comfortable, being secure in the pocket. Now, he had a pretty good pocket.
He did.
And he still had happy feet. He was leaking left, and he tried to throw that ball right, and it sailed. And with that split-second indecision, like you just spoke of, you could see why that ball sailed.
Yep.
That was a great play call. Receiver was open. It was a great deal. Just got to, those are things that they'll work on, and he'll get more reps doing it, and he'll get better and better as the season goes on with that.
I tell you, the best decision of the game so far that's been made is the fact that we opened that press box door.
What a breeze, huh? What a breeze. There's some cold front or some front that's down in Florida.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like no humidity tomorrow, which is great for youth football, for Caleb anyway, because he's got youth football tomorrow.
Oh.
Cocoa Tigers youth football tomorrow. And that's a gain of 5 on first down, so it'll be 2nd and 5. Here in about 4 minutes, Jack and Drew are going to take over. Now, we're just going to hand them the headsets here and let them go, right?
So
that's what happened with Jackson. That's what happened with Caleb. That's what happens with all of them. So I just kind of turn it over to them. I let them go, and then we discuss. Throws wide open, caught underneath. Nice job. There, that's a good pitch and catch, and that's exactly what that is.
I think we might have a fumble on the field.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, he's picking it up now. He's picking
Jonah
it up.
Woodruff on the catch from Eric Nelson. And Jonah Woodruff, I tell you what, get him the ball. He'll make plays.
2 receivers in the same spot there. I think somebody was not in the right spot, but, hey, they made it work.
Yeah, when you're not going to throw the ball, that's definitely going to happen. Where am I supposed to be? You're not supposed to be here. Well, here comes the ball.
Reps.
Yeah. Nelson with one back. Boobar turns, gives the Boobar. Boobar with a hole, cuts outside, cuts inside, cuts outside, and still on his feet, twist turn, brought down after a gain. Nope. Still on his feet, actually. And he's going to have 10 yards.
Oh, he's going to be close to that first down.
So Boobar.
Man, his legs just don't stop, do they?
And they're choppy and they move fast. If he can stay healthy, him and Ingram, they can have a big year.
I agree with that. Especially with some misdirection that the Viera offense obviously is working on. And it looks like we have a little bit of an injury.
I want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings. What's your favorite dish here? You got a favorite dish at Buffalo Wild?
Wings, of course. I mean, can you say anything otherwise?
Well, I didn't know.
I mean, come on.
I like their hamburgers too. I think they got really good hamburgers.
They cook with true fat.
Yeah. Throws open. Oh, that should be and is a play. You know what? I got to tell you, that is a great play by the receiver. there. That's number 4 down there. Is that Woodruff again?
I think so.
No, that's
No, it's
not.
not.
That's number 12. That's Nnamdi Asora. And he made a terrific headsy play. He knew he wasn't catching the ball. He turned, he put his arm up, and he let the DB come to him, and they created the 15-yard pass interference, and now it's 1st and goal, and Viera has a picture-perfect opportunity here to go up by 2 scores. Nelson, 1st and goal from the 10, turns, gives, Bubar outside, Bubar, touchdown, Viera Hawks, and with 8 minutes to go, it's 28-14.
That's the misdirection offense right here. You don't know if he's going to keep that. They're going to run the read. He lets it go that time. Man, he looked like he had a window of about 8 yards through the line of scrimmage.
And that is that's impressive.
Like I spoke about earlier in the night, running football is high school football. If you do it right, you can easily put up as many points as you would be in a pass spread offense.
Yep, and play faster games. Kick is up, and did he get that through? He does, as that is good. And with 8:01 to play, it's a 2-score, 15-point lead for Viera as they now lead it 29-14. I just I like that.
We came in thinking the highlight of the game was going to be Viera's defense, but the offense putting 29 points on the board already, 8 minutes left in the third quarter. I mean, that's something pretty sure anybody that's outside of the Viera program wasn't ready for.
No. And maybe even those on the outside watching. Because this was a 6-4 team last year, or a 5-4 team.
5-4, yeah.
And a lot of people, myself included, think, and look, based on everything that happened, I understand why they didn't play that other game. But the bottom line is, if they're 6-4, they're a playoff team last year.
I agree.
That's not bad not bad. That's great after going 0-10 the year
0-10.
before.
What a tough season that must have been to turn around, almost make the playoffs last year, and start looking like you might be a decent team this year. Is a great feeling.
And this is what they got to fix. They got to fix this. That's another great return by Palm Bay. And again, it is number 3 who gets outside. That's Jaden Howard with a great return. And I tell you, that'll cost you some football games right there with teams that are very pass-oriented.
I mean, 50-yard return, 30-yard return there, 30-yard return prior to that. We had, a 70-yard return earlier.
You can't keep turning field position over at the 50-yard line and down.
And expect your defense to hold out.
So it's going to be a dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct penalty on Palm Bay, but that'll back them up 15 yards, so that'll take some of the sting out of it. But you better believe Tony Gulla has duly noted that return. And here comes, interesting to see how Palm Bay's going to have to obviously throw the football a little bit here, Nick. So it's going to be interesting to see, Christian Gonzalez settle in and do that.
Well, I might combat that a little bit. Maybe they don't. Maybe maybe they decide that that they're still sticking with those 5-6 plays that they've been running the whole night. And they're going to perfect those until they clock hits 0-0-0. Instead of trying to worry about winning this football game.
You will see them next week right here on Brevard Sports Network. Again, Heritage Panther football part of the package here at BSN. And they will open up with their South County rivals. The Heritage Panthers is Michael Benson and Heritage right now all over the Rockledge Raiders. But I'll tell you after this play, 29-14, that doesn't surprise me. And I'll tell you why in a minute. That is not going to be a sack, but it is going to be a tackle, and it is going to be Isaac Hungerbuehler on the stop. That doesn't surprise me because I don't know how many people really took a step back and looked at that Rockledge roster, but it's young. It is junior and sophomore loaded. I think they've got a dozen seniors on it. And if you look at some of the players that have transferred out, obviously hurts the program. But I didn't have, when I was asked my preseason rankings the other day on the Mark Moses show on Sports Radio 1560, The Fan, I had Rockledge at 5'6" is where I put him.
I think I've got him right about the same spot. You know, there's a lot of got to prove it going on in Rockledge.
Yeah.
You know, the offense there hasn't really ever been.
That's a sack. That's a fumble. Here we go. And still out. And this is going to be a strip sack fumble. Touchdown. Viera defense adds to the point total. Is that Hungerbuehler? I believe it's either 10 or 11. I believe it's Isaac Hungerbuehler on the eventual touchdown. And the Viera Hawks make it 35-14 on the strip sack fumble.
And this is the tough thing about a newly passing offense. You know, preseason is not a lot of hours. There's not a lot of time in camp.
No.
You know, to go from being such a run-based offense last year to trying to pass the ball this year, it's going to be some growing pains.
Yep.
There's going to be some growing pains.
No doubt. And I think the other thing, too, is the coachable moment there is you got to protect that football. You got, as a quarterback, when you're in no man's territory like that, you have got to have both hands on that ball. And it's just a quick snap tuck. Quick snap tuck, you know that.
Yeah.
And it keeps, you're going to take the sack, go down, snap is low, and kick will not get off, and we're going to even it all up again. 2 point and all that aside, with 6:13 to go, it's going to be 35-14. As we get now, here's Nick. This is what I am interested in seeing here is how does Viera cover this kick right here? Because obviously there's spots on this special teams open if you want to get playing time. Let me ask you this, buddy: how long before the high school? I hope it's next year. Listen. I was the older gentleman, stay off of my grass guy when the NFL introduced this new kickoff. I love it.
I love it also. Every kick that I've seen so far has had a return. There's excitement on that play again. You know, whereas before you were kicking it out of the back of the end zone almost every single time, as often as you could.
I mean, you could literally sit down at 108. You know, but you can't do that now.
No, I love it. But, you know, I think college has got to you got to pick that ball up, son.
That's out, and that is Viera ball. That'll get you a spot on the bench.
I think Palm Bay kept it, number 3.
Was
able to get on it. But I think college has got to really put that in play before high school thinks about it. But I don't think it's far away.
I don't either. I think college goes to it next year, I think probably by 2030, high school has it.
Yeah. We're 2024, so 2020. Yeah, 2030. I might even say a little earlier than that. But
guess what? It's water break time. Now, I'm going to step aside. We'll be right back here. All right. All right, so we're going to come back here, and I'm going to give you a special treat here, okay? Our new interns, Drew and Jack, are going to take over the headset. So they're going to call the rest of the third quarter. So we're going to let them go, and I'll go back and listen to this later on, and then we'll see how. Now, I'm not going to stand behind them and pressure them. One of you got to work that camera. All you got to do is turn it left and turn it right. Just stay with the action. And, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Grimison and Drew Newland.
All right. Thank you for watching BSN. I'm Jack Grimison.
And I'm Drew Newland.
And, Drew, I can't think of a better game to be our first one to cast.
That is so true, Graham. I'm so excited to watch the rest of this game. This has been awesome.
And it looks like it's going to be a little screen pass for Palm Bay. And it's going to go out for negative yardage.
You know what, Graham? Let's talk a little bit about. Oh,
get that camera right.
Just a little mistake here.
Well, this Viera defense has looked very strong, Drew. I don't know what do you have to say about that,
Graham? I'm loving this Viera defense, just like you just said. We knew that coming into this season that Viera's defense was going to be their strong suit. We were a little worried about, not really sure what was going on with the offense here. They've looked phenomenal, and this defense has lived up to its reputation.
Totally. I mean, we knew that they were coming back with a bunch of starters from last year. I think 10 of 11 is the count. Let's see what they got. They got Christian Gonzalez back there. He snaps the ball, looks to pass. He's going to throw it. Oh, I don't know who that one was going to.
I'm not to agree with you there.
Christian Gonzalez has seemed like he's been going through some growing pains throwing that football. Obviously, last year, Palm Bay was more known for running the ball, and that's where they got all of their yardage last year. If we pull out the stats, last year they had 2,541 rush yards and only 594 pass yards.
Yeah, I mean, it's really looked like a reversal of roles here in this game. We have Viera looking like a rushing.
Ooh, he passes it.
Oh.
Ooh, short little screen. He's crossing the field. Got to go up. Oh, maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage there. It's going to be 4th and about 10.
You know what, Graham, picking up to back what I was just saying, we've almost seen a reversal of roles here. We have the Viera offense as a rushing game. Their rushing game has been their strong suit here. And you know what? We've seen a little bit of passing here, and their passing plays have been great. However, let's go to the flip. Let's talk about this Palm Bay offense. What used to be a very running-oriented offense is now looking like their strong suit has been these screen passes that they've been running here.
The screen passes and the short ones that they're really looking for to get Christian Gonzalez into his into a nice groove there, to start his season. Looking like they're going to punt this one.
Yeah.
4th and about 8.
I apologize for getting the camera.
Looks like it's going to punt, a little bit short. It's going to bounce, and Viera's going to let it run. Come to rest at about the 40-yard line, maybe the 39. Well, Drew, who has impressed you the most out of this Viera offense this game?
Wow. I think this is a no-brainer, Graham. Let's talk about Boo-Bar.
Oh, my God.
Coming out here, first football game, first Friday Night Lights game. We're coming out here and we're covering it. I'm seeing Boo-Bar. I'm seeing a phenomenal player. Let's talk about 3 touchdowns, Graham. That is insane.
In the first game of the season, the Kickoff Classic.
Wow, and it's just been awesome.
I mean, he's been dominant. Totally, this offensive line has opened up so many opportunities for Boo-Bar to go through these holes and just take this defense by storm.
I agree. And another thing that I think we should mention, we have Dane Boss out there. He has not missed a field goal yet. He's looking phenomenal. He's a new member to this football team. He is a soccer player, just picked up by the football team. He's 3 for 3 so far. Unfortunately, the bad snap stopped him from being able to maybe go 4 for 4. But he's looking great out there.
Viera's going to line up in shotgun. Eric Nelson fakes it. Oop. Oh, little curl route to the tight end. Is going to drop it. 2nd and 10. I've liked the passing game so far, but the runnings were really where they've been hitting it. And I'm glad that they're trying to find that groove now that they have a little more cushion with the score here.
I agree with you, Graham. I think that they're definitely going to try to, in my opinion, they're going to start throwing some things that maybe they might not be as more comfortable with, because they're going to try some things. They got the score to fall back on right now in this third quarter.
100%. Let's see what they do here. Back in the shotgun, Eric Nelson. Hands it off, and he's going to take it off through the middle. 5 or 6 yards there. Who's that going to be? 22. 22. Kamari Ingram.
Wow. Once again, this running play. These running plays are what is honestly getting this Viera team so much success. And I know we keep talking about that, but it's looking to me like that is what is going to set this Viera offense apart from the rest.
The returning running backs are totally the heart and soul of this Viera offense, whether it goes to Kamari Ingram, whether it goes to Ryan Boo-Bar. And you know what? We have to talk about their offensive line with that, too. They're the ones opening up these gaps time and time again. What I've also loved to see is these reversals, these jet sweeps that are continuing the run game, but they're switching it up a little bit. And it's just awesome to see. And
we have a flag down on the play.
Delay of game on the offense there.
Let's talk about these flags this game,
There's
man.
been a lot of penalties.
A lot of very, very costly penalties. We've seen a lot from Palm Bay, not as much from Viera. We have unsportsmanlike conduct and from Palm Bay and just like some things that are just should not be happening.
I knew there was a targeting earlier on a sack, I think, from Viera. And, let's talk about the score could be 21-35 right now if it weren't for some clock mismanagement at the end of the first half.
Exactly. I mean, these are all things that are going to be worked off in a kickoff classic type game.
Correct.
This is what these games are for. This does not count on the record. This is for, in my opinion, confidence boosting. Get these players out here hitting some guys that aren't, bodies from their team.
Exactly.
They're going to get out here. They're going to get out here and they're going to, work these things out.
In the film room. It's going to be big. Big for these coaches to find the flaws that they need to work on, get out and practice, get on the practice field, and really just work out the kinks.
I agree with you.
Looks like it's going to be a timeout here.
I think it's a perfect time to mention Buffalo Wild Wings. Grim, I love Buffalo Wild Wings. And
I mean, tell you what, when they had that boneless wings deal, that was one of the deals of the century.
Wow. Talk about a take right there. That is good. I loved what Buffalo Wild Wings has to offer at their store, at their restaurant.
Truly. Looks like the Viera Hawks are going to come back out with their offense. Eric Nelson's going to line up in the shotgun once again. Kamari Ingram in the backfield. Drops back to pass. He's looking long. Ooh. Oh. Looks like he was trying to hit that out route, maybe that comeback. Just a little bit to the left of the receiver there, though. Looks like it's going to be 4th and 10.
You know what, Grim? I like seeing these passing plays, whether a completed pass or even an attempted one. I'm really liking seeing them try this out because I think that if Viera can get a solid, very good reads from the quarterback there in those passing plays and they have the run option, I'm looking at a positive record for these Viera Hawks this season.
If Viera can really get a nice balanced offense this year, they might be a powerhouse that, we haven't seen in many years, especially after that 0-10 season 2 years ago. It's a great comeback for this Viera Hawks team with their new official head coach. Last year he was the interim. And it punts away. Palm Bay's going to return it. He's going to take it left. Breaks one tackle. And he's taken down by the next Viera defender. And we got 2 minutes, 29 seconds in the third quarter. 14 Palm Bay, 35 Viera. And that is not the score that I was expecting coming into this game.
Not at all. To be honest, I was thinking that we might see Palm Bay up here, and I was thinking I was going to see a lot of the rushing game from them, like I said earlier. Well, not unfortunately, but we've got to see a whole new team out here, and maybe that's because of the new leadership they have over there at Palm Bay with the head coach position.
I know. 3 head coaches in 3 years, and even though that does not sound too great, it hasn't been too bad for Palm Bay. They've racked up 3 winning seasons in those years, so who can blame them?
I agree with you.
Looks like the Palm Bay offense is going to come back onto the field. Christian Gonzalez behind the center in shotgun. Snaps the ball. Passes it to the left side. And he's going to juke one tackle. He's going. 10 yards, 15 yards. To the 50, 45. Wow. Looks like a good pickup of about 20 yards there.
That's that Palm Bay.
Hey,
that's that Palm Bay, the running I'm used to seeing,
Palm Bay is finally getting some yardage. What they've really been lacking this game, I would say, Drew, is explosive plays. And that's where Viera's been cooking them. Viera's been taking the run plays and making them explosive, and that's not what you usually see. Palm Bay is finally hitting that. Hand it off to their running back. Picks up a few yards there. That's going to be number 2. Jeremiah Mitchell with the running back. Snaps it again. Drops it back pass. Bubble screen. Takes it up. That's going to be a first down and a little more to the 30-yard line. That's where their bread and butter is, this bubble screen this game.
I agree with you, Graham. I'm seeing a lot, the screens there. I think that they're doing a phenomenal job.
Lines it back up in shotgun. Christian Gonzalez snaps it. Looks like it hands off back to Jeremiah Mitchell. Looks like he's going to be a little tackle for loss there. This Viera defense has really impressed me. That D-line, they've been eating up that Palm Bay O-line.
Wow. I mean, they sure have, Graham, and I 100% agree with you there. I think that this D-line, they are just collapsing on these guys, man. They're a brick wall. They're not letting these running backs through, which is why I think Palm Bay is having the results of these screen passes, which they've been successful at.
Really, when you compare these two O-lines tonight, it's not even a question. Christian Gonzalez with the ball, drops back to pass. He's going to throw it deep to the right side, and he's caught! It's caught up by the goal line, inside the 5, at the 4.
Wow, we have not seen a lot of deep passes from this Palm Bay team, but that was a phenomenal read and a phenomenal throw deep down in red zone territory.
That looked like, to me, it could even been called a defensive pass interference, and he made that catch through contact, and I'm really proud of Christian Gonzalez for stepping up and making that throw, despite the short passes he's been throwing all game.
Talk about a catch, man. He really brought that in.
Palm Bay is going to be looking to use this momentum to get this touchdown right here. Watch out for number 10 on the right side, Christopher Lloyd. It's going to be a run to the right. He's going to get through. Touchdown, Palm Bay. That's going to be number 5, Donald Clark, rushing touchdown to the right side. Bring it up to 20-35.
Wow. Some running play here at the end of this third quarter to bring in another touchdown for the Palm Bay Pirates. Grim, I'm not sure if we can count this game over yet. Well, if this Palm Bay offense keeps this up, they keep going, they might still be in this game.
You know what? Palm Bay just made it a 2-score game, hoping this extra point will go through, and it will.
It's good.
But there's a flag on the play after that. Let's see what we get there.
You'll have a flag at the end of the play.
I mean, a 2-score game in the fourth quarter, that's definitely surmountable. If the Palm Bay defense can really step up, stop this Viera offense a couple times like they just have, I think it's possible for Palm Bay to come back and get this win in the Kickoff Classic.
You know what? I agree with you there. However, I do think that it would a good game plan, here for the Viera Hawks might be to, take it a little slower. Keep on doing what you do best. In my opinion, is not worth losing this game over to stupid mistakes. And, it seems like we've seen a lot of penalties here and there, which are just setting these teams back. We do not need that if you are a Viera Hawk.
What's really been surprising me this game, Drew, is the special teams play. We've seen many, many exciting plays on the special teams. 2 fumbles and many, many long returns for both Palm Bay and Viera, putting themselves in very good field position. However, not all these opportunities have been capitalized on.
I agree with you. They have not been able to capitalize it again because of these penalties. There's been penalties here and there that have just allowed for these teams to just some mistakes to just seep in and just not be able to convert on these.
And it's going to be 21-35 Viera with 7 seconds left in the third quarter. We're going to kick it off, Palm Bay. Viera's going to return it, take it in the middle of the field, and he's going to get rocked by a couple Palm Bay Pirates coming in to get the tackle on that one.
Wow, Graham, that is not very good field position if you are the Viera Hawks. They got something to prove this quarter. They got to keep their win. They got to keep this win right now. They're in the position to take this W. However, in my opinion, they're in a bad position, of course, to start off this fourth quarter.
And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter with Viera aiming to seal off this game with another touchdown drive.
I got it. Don't worry.
All right.
So let me ask you guys a question. Where you at here? Are you having fun?
I'm having lots of fun.
Wow, I
We'll
mean,
start the fourth?
Yeah.
sure.
Let's do it.
All right. I'll let you start the fourth. Look at you. He's already leaving us, Nick. He's got a new 6 card there.
We're making connections.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, you would go,
okay. Yeah, we were trying
I'll
to.
teach you all this in due time. Don't
Yeah.
worry about you. I should have came up and did that.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure there.
You're absolutely. So Nick and I will go back out here and we'll just have a conversation. We'll be back in, and I'll come back in. Now I'm not going to freak you guys out. We'll analyze it later. But all right, guys, fourth quarter's yours. Just don't make sure everybody can see it.
Sweet.
All right, Drew. Start of the fourth quarter. Viera Hawks have the ball at about the 16, maybe 17-yard line. And what I've noticed about this Viera offense is that they run through a few key specific players. That being the quarterback, Eric Nelson, Jonah Woodruff is another one, Cooper Keith, and most importantly, the running back, Ryan Bubar. Let's see what they do here on first down from the 17. Looks like shotgun with Eric Nelson. Figuring out the positions here. Man in motion.
Almost looks like a little confusion out there.
Hands it off to the running back. He's going to bounce it out to the right side, and he has a lane, and he's going to go. And he's knocked out of bounds by a Palm Bay defender, Jaden Howard. Two-way player. That is a great, great run on first down. Sets the tone for the drive.
Wow, and I'm so impressed. These running backs, it's just so deep. They have a lot on this roster. They just are just pulling out players that are just making these plays, these very flashy, these very impactful plays, Grim. That's what I'm seeing from this offense, Grim. And the play calling has been phenomenal here in this first game. You know, 100%. I'm loving what I'm seeing.
The coach knows what he's doing. Coach Tony Gula knows what he's doing in his second year. First year as the official head coach. But looks like that play might be coming back. I do not know what the penalty is. Maybe a false start because it looks like we're going 5 yards back, maybe to the 12-yard line. And I'm going to say that Palm Bay lucked out on that one.
I'm going to have to agree with you.
Not great to see. Those penalties have been costly for both teams today.
A lot of penalties this game, Grim. A lot.
That's what the Kickoff Classic is for, though.
Yeah.
Get out those kinks.
Let's work them out in the film room.
Eric Nelson takes a snap. Read option looks like. Oh, he flips it over to the running back. And the running back going to pick up a few more yards, maybe to the 23 or so.
Interesting play there.
That's a wonderful read by Eric Nelson, the QB. He is making that read. He's making a very mature read to go. Think about taking his space and flipping it back to the RB, who has much more room in the green to go forward and get those yardage. If he went, I would have assumed that that's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. He's making the mature choice to make that read.
Grim, we're seeing this quarterback almost mature as this game goes on.
Oh, 100%.
His reading abilities is just, maybe he's warming up. Those hands are getting warm.
Hands it off, but the whistles are going to be blown. Play is dead.
Play is whistle dead. We're waiting to sort it out.
What is that going to be a penalty?
All hamburgers, hot dogs, and
Looks like it.
are half price.
Maybe a timeout.
Interesting. Seems like a lot of confusion out there right now.
You know what, Drew? I've been waiting to see all night that I haven't. I thought this Palm Bay defensive line was going to absolutely do wonders tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that number 99, Demarion Harp, was going to go and bust through this Hawks O-line with his 6'2", 300-pound frame.
Wow.
But it looks like to me that the Palm Bay defense does not have that much, has not had that much success in stopping this Hawks offense.
I'm not to agree with you. It's honestly mind-blowing to see that they have so much success in the run game with this Viera Hawks offense, especially when you have such a big defensive line on the Palm Bay. It's
Totally.
very impressive that these Hawks are able to have so much success in the run game.
Totally. They have a big defense, a lot of returnees, and they've really been just being run through by the Viera Hawks. Let's see what happens here. Eric Nelson under center. He's going to hand it off again, and there we go. That's what we've been talking about. Palm Bay defensive line getting in those gaps and stopping it on second down and short.
Wow. I'm not going to say you called it, Grim, but you kind of called it.
What can I say? Looks like that the team is turnover on downs. Maybe there was some confusion with the chain gang saying that it was second down, but looks like it's going to be a turnover on downs. Or was there a fumble?
I'm not quite sure what's going on here, because if that is a turnover on downs, Grim, there's something wrong there, because that should not be happening at this field position.
Whatever it looks like to me, I'm looking like a Palm Bay offense is coming out with the ball in good field position to make this a one-score game.
Wow. They have a lot of opportunity here.
Christian Gonzalez in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks a pass. He's going to go long again. Open. Oh, almost made that grab. The throw was a little bit behind him, so he had to fall down to make the catch. Just slipped out of his hands. Unfortunate. That could have been a momentum setter for this drive for Palm Bay.
Well, I don't think this drive, you can't count it out yet, Grim. This drive is not over. I'm seeing some good things from this Palm Bay offense. We're seeing deep passes, which you have not seen before. They are breaking down this defense in a way that these Hawks have not seen before.
Ball snapped. Out route. Ooh, and that is a great effort by the defensive back to break up that Palm Bay pass. Get that incomplete, 3rd and long with 11:17 left in the third quarter. 21-35, Viera leading. That was an effort play, and that's what I've been seeing from Viera both night on both sides of the ball.
Wow, that's what I was just about to say. Let's talk about effort, Grim. These Viera Hawks have shown it. If that is one thing that you want to take from this game, is that these Viera Hawks, they got some dog in them, man. They are not letting any play go.
They put in the work at summer camp.
You can see it.
Looks like a little bit confusion on the Palm Bay side of the ball right now. Christian Gonzalez asking the coaches what's going on. Shotgun. Ball's hiked.
Yeah, that.
And it is whistled dead. Don't know what's going on there. A little miscommunication almost.
For sure a false start.
On Palm Bay, it'd be a 5-yard penalty. Brings up 3rd down and 15.
3rd down and 15. That is a rough look when you're starting from great field position. Now they're back to the 35-yard line, 34-yard line, when they started at the 30 on a 1st and 10.
Wow, man, these penalties are just killing this Palm Bay offense. They did a great job in drawing out those penalties earlier on when they would, sneak up to the goal line by causing those false starts. But, man, in this second half, we have seen a lot of penalties on this Palm Bay team.
They're going to come back out, try to pick up this 1st down, hikes it in shotgun, throws it long. He's wide open. Oh, and he can't make the grab. Just slightly overthrown to the wide receiver on the go route. That is rough to see.
That is very rough to see. That was an amazing read by the quarterback. However, the wide receiver could not bring it in.
Well, I do want to see what Palm Bay elects to do on this 4th down and 15. It might be a long 4th down, but when you're in this stretch of territory, especially in high school football, it's hard not to go for it because it's rough to do that punt and it's rough to do that field goal with your kicker.
I agree.
Looks like the offense is going to stay on the field. I'm interested to see what happens on this play.
You know what? I think this is a very smart idea. We're in a kickoff classic, 11 minutes left. Let's try to bring this win in.
In shotgun, Christian Gonzalez, motion man. Ball's hiked. Rolling out to the right. Deep ball. PI!
There's a flag down on that play.
I think that's going to be defensive pass interference, and that's going to bring Palm Bay a 1st down if I'm correct.
This might be game-changing right here, depending on what they call.
That could very well be a costly mistake on the Viera Hawks defender.
For sure. Well, we saw the Viera Hawks, get away. Their offense got away with some yardage on a PI call earlier. Looks like it is coming back to them. Wow.
Pass interference on the Viera Hawks.
This might just change the game.
That gives Palm Bay new life. Looking like they're at about the 19-yard line, maybe the 20. Hands it off to Braden Cook, and he's going to go for just down short of the touchdown. 1 yard line. What a rush.
He almost looked untouched. in that beginning
Truly.
quarter. He just ran right through. What is going on with this Viera Hawks defense? They are falling apart in the beginning of this fourth quarter.
Well, let's see what they can do on this goal line here. That was very good work from the Palm Bay offensive line.
They've shown what they can do on the goal line.
And it's going to be another handoff, but there it goes.
Once
Viera
again,
Hawks with another stop.
let's talk about this goal line defense with the Hawks. They are just stuffing men down there, and they are getting the dudes in the spots
We saw
to get these tackles.
We saw it at the end of the second half, or at the end of the first half, where Palm Bay had a very, very good chance to score a touchdown, and they could not get it done because that goal line defense came through with that effort. 10 men trying to stop that ball carrier. Comes through, and the clock runs out for Palm Bay.
We are looking at 21 Palm Bay, 35 Viera, 9:49 to go.
Second down from the 3-yard line. Christian Gonzalez under shotgun. Takes a snap. Hands it off once again. And looks like that's going to be stopped short once again.
Wow. This Viera, I take back what I said about this Viera Hawks defense here at the end of this game, at the beginning of this fourth quarter.
There it goes. The touchdown.
Wow.
You were proven wrong
Once
in the
again,
middle of your speech.
I'm going to take that back again, Graham. I honestly thought that was not going to be a touchdown there, but it's looking like a game here.
Palm Bay powering through this Viera defense with a long stretch of with a few run plays after the pass interference call, and Braden Cooks run up to the goal line. Looks like we're going to get this extra point underway to make the score 28-35, and it will not go.
Wow. You know
Looked
what
like
this is doing? We already saw that Viera 2-point conversion. Might come in clutch here at the end of the game. We have another missed extra point. A lot of missed opportunities from this Palm Bay offense. We are seeing some mistakes pile onto mistakes, which are causing this Palm Bay to dig themselves into a deeper hole in this fourth quarter.
It's still a one-score game.
So before me and Nick jump, I'll take care of that. Before me and Nick jump back on, what's your final take, man?
I think Palm Bay is in a very, very good position to come back and take this game. I think we'll have to see what the Viera offense has to say on this next drive, but if they don't convert, I see the momentum. It's already shifted in Palm Bay's favor. I see it continuing to swing that way.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Grim. I'm going to have to say this game is not over yet at all. This Kickoff Classic game could be decided in these next 9 minutes. I think it can swing either way. We are seeing momentum on Palm Bay's side. However, if Viera can do what they were doing at the beginning and the middle of this game, throughout this game, I think they might be able to bring it home.
Very true.
All right, Jack and Drew, thank you guys.
All right, thank you very much.
And we will finish it up. Appreciate it. Did you guys enjoy that?
That was awesome, man.
What if I told you were on mute the whole time? I'm just kidding. All right, welcome back here. Drew Newland, and again, another kickoff return. This time it's Viera with the kick return, Nick, that does Palm Bay in following the touchdown. Let's get the score fixed here.
That went from could have been really bad to what a return.
Yeah. Yep, sure did. And so we were out there watching the game. What's your take on what you've seen from Palm Bay up till this point?
Well, I'll tell you, going into the half, you thought Viera was really kind of in control, and it just felt like, the game was going to lean Viera's way. But coming in the second half and watching that third quarter and what's happened here in the fourth, boy, the tides have turned, it feels.
Yeah, it certainly has. And I'll tell you what, it feels good outside, too. Nice little cool evening here for August, man. That feels great out. As looks like we got Noah Rennish back in here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, if I'm somebody on that line, I'm watching out to be cracked here. And Rennish trying to get a lead block, and that's a good run. And is that Nelson?
Yep.
Eric Nelson with the keeper there. Nelson just gets up and throws the player off of him, and That's a nice play by Viera right there. Good bounce back play there. 35-27, 8:58 to go. Drew and Jack. How about those guys, huh? Now, the way we do this is I'll go back and listen, and then Drew and Jack and I will get together and we'll talk. And is this mine?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get together and we'll talk, and we'll give them some pointers and what we know. 1st and 10, Nelson turns, gives to Bubar. Bubar cuts inside, and Bubar leans down for a gain of about 4, maybe 5. 8:30 to go here in the opening. That's because I just sat down here in the fourth quarter. Maybe they can give me some pointers, Nick.
Well, what looked to be Palm Bay taking over the feel of this game in the second half, all of a sudden, Viera's brought back their dominance. Great return, 2 great plays to start off the drive, and looks like we have some cramps going on.
I was going to say, the thing I used to hate about, and I tell the story every year, you figure what do we say, 12? This is my 12th year covering Brevard County High School football, so I know I've told this story 1,000 times, and I'm sure you can remember this back to your high school playing days, coming home on a bus. For us, it was like in September, right, because that's when we started, but you would be asleep if you had a long game. Somebody inevitably screamed
out of nowhere.
You about fell off your seat because they had a cramp.
Well, you thought that he was dying. You thought somebody ripped his leg off, but it was just a cramp. And I say just a cramp, but boy, did they just pierce through
and you
your
look
whole
back
body.
And you see legs and back sticking up over seats, and you're like, my goodness. But hydrate is the best way to do that. What's your old what do they call it? Old medical tip when it comes to, like, is it pickle juice? Is it salt under the tongue? What do you like?
So we actually, my wife and I actually, shout out to my wife Charlotte, amazing. She is the hydration queen. She found these hydration pills that are FDA approved and is just an over-the-counter type of thing, but it has a little zing energy to it, and it's pure hydration. One of those before a game, not a single cramp out of my kids.
Really?
Not a single cramp.
Wow. Okay.
I wish I could tell you what the name of it is off the top of my head.
No.
But the old school is the pickle juice. It's
throws.
Oh.
Is that caught? No, just short, incomplete. He was open, though.
What about you? What was your go-to?
A little salt under the tongue.
Yeah, that's what I
Throw a little salt under the tongue, let it dissolve. And then the doctor wants to know why I got high blood pressure. But,
All right, 8 minutes left. They can really put this away by punching this in.
The score here would do that. Coming up after the game tonight, it'll be the Natwick Insurance postgame show presented by Florida Breeze Air and Heat, and we'll recap. And what do we have on the scoreboard that we were talking about earlier here on 3rd and 7? Nelson rolls to his left, cuts back, rolls back out again. He's got the pitch if he wants it, elects to hold on to it, and Nelson will be taken down. It'll be 4th and about 7, maybe 8 here. He'll lose a yard, and decision time for Gullah and the Hawks.
Well, one of the big scores that I just caught me way off guard was 3-2. 3-2.
I hope that's legit. I mean, is it?
I don't know. Maybe I should double check it, but somebody tell me if that's the truth. 3-2 with O'Galley, right?
O'Galley and Mainland. Yeah, 3-2. I mean, that's what, a couple of two-run. That's a 2-run bomb and a 3-run jack. And it looks like Viera is going to go for this, and I think this is where that ball's in no man's territory here. And it'll be Nelson. There's Noah Rennis lined up to the left of him. You're going to have Ingram in, Bubar in the backfield to give us to Bubar. Bubar's got room. He's got a first down up the middle. Bubar cuts back, still on his feet, and he'll be brought down at about the 12-yard line, but it is more than enough for a Viera first down.
You know what I love about that? Nothing special there.
Nope.
They went back to what has been working. And ended up gaining probably way more yards than they initially thought was going to. But what a great job. What a great call.
And we were talking about the cookie-cutter play calling, because obviously you don't want to reveal anything in the Kickoff Classic, right? But that's one of those plays right there that you get fortunate that you have the size that you do up front with the Finn Goldingers at center, where they can open the holes like that and you pick up those types of yards.
I'm looking at this offensive line. It's averaging what, 6 foot?
Yeah.
6'1" maybe, 240 pounds on average. It's great looking line.
1st and 10. Turns, gives, and this is Bubar, I believe, to the outside. Bubar in for a Viera Hawk. Touchdown is Ryan Bubar. Hold. And it's coming back, so sorry, Mr. Bubar, but you don't get the touchdown call.
The infamous edge hold.
There you go. Which I got to tell you, at this point in the game, even if it was there, Palm Bay fans are going, now, wait a minute, Alan. And there's the Viera cheerleaders working hard tonight under the guidance direction of athletic director and coach, head cheer coach Cheryl Dravis. I want to thank Cheryl Dravis and the Viera High staff and administration, of course, for allowing Brevard Sports Network to come tonight and once again sit in the press box. And this is Nelson to the right. Fakes a little head fake there on the pitch. And I tell you, that's a good call because he lured the D end in and was able to get just inside of him enough. He won't get all of the penalty back, but he'll get 9 of the 10.
Man, we've watched him do that, 7, 8 times tonight?
Yep.
He's doing a really good job with that read. It's tough, too. You got those guys bearing down on you. You've got 3 different options that you got running through your brain, to bring that right choice is really tough.
Nope, you're exactly right, 100% right. Nick and I next week, we will be at Cocoa next week, where the Tigers and the Terriers will kick off week 1, so we'll be there.
Boy, I'm excited for that, too.
Yeah, it's going to be
There's been a lot of talk, a lot of yapping going on.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm here for it.
I do, too.
I love it. Again, what nothing better than Friday Night Lights. And
Nelson trying to get in. Will he get there? And he'll step out at about the 5. Here's the thing. People just they're just not going to like the statement. But the way the Tigers are loaded this year, if they don't win another state championship, I think the season, of course, it's not a failure, but it certainly isn't the success that I know every one of those coaches and those players want. It is state championship or bust for the Cocoa Tigers.
I agree. Now the levels have changed, right? So there's still 2S, but some different schools have dropped down to that 2S, or I'm sorry, 2A.
S&M are gone.
It's changed so many times.
Yeah, no, you're right. But, S&M are gone, and so they're in 2A this year.
And that road to that championship's not going to be quite as easy as it has been in the past.
Correct.
Not to say they haven't deserved every championship, every win that they've had. But that road's going to be a little bit tougher this year, which would be great to see that competition.
But you got a 4-star quarterback, you got a 4-star wide receiver, you got a 5-star defensive end, you got a 4-star DB, you got a 4-star offensive lineman. So you got the talent,
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I know it's championship or bust for them. And I know they wouldn't consider it a failure of a season if they don't win that championship, but I know that every single one of those players and those coaches feel like that's what they should be doing.
Yeah, no doubt. That's the standard. And Nelson turns, fakes, throws, caught, and dropped. Pass was a little bit low, and that's what we were looking for off of that option right there. We got it. Nelson just threw it a little bit low, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And I think now what we're going to see is the Viera Hawks try to put this game out of 1-score range.
Yeah, this field goal, if that's what they're going for here, it does look like it. Putting them up, what are they up, 8 right now?
Yeah.
So 11, pretty much punching it out of range with 4.5 minutes left to play.
I got to figure why I can't see the comments.
I've been trying to figure them.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but you know what I will? I will take being able to watch the game. With the issues we were having trying to get a signal in here beforehand over them reading the comments. I'll read the comments later.
All right. In the comments, I just was
It's
able to
4-3, Mainland up.
and it was just 2-3. So you got two
So do
safeties.
are we really looking at 2 safeties and a field goal in a football game?
Wow.
I mean, is this what we're looking at here?
I
mean,
got a Heritage final, 21-3.
Okay. Snap, the hold, the kick, and that is wide left. No good. And with 4:30:29 to play, it is still a one-score game. And, you know, we could have a little DRAMA here.
Ah, yes.
There are 178 people watching the O'Galley Mainland game at the moment. That is currently 2 2-run homers in the 3-run shot. That's a hell of a job by Joseph Allen on the hill tonight for O'Galley.
I'll tell you what a game. Completely opposite from what we got going on here. Huh?
And I completely missed the – oh, no, I was at the kickoff. There was none. MCC's going to win. Heritage, you said, won. And we are 35-27 here with Palm Bay with a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Get him!
Oh, nice run. Junior fighter with a good job. 8 yards.
Boy, we've watched him do that a lot tonight also. He's
something else, man.
He's got a little scat back to him.
Yep. Of course, his dad is Duell Fighter, the basketball coach for the Palm Bay Pirates boys basketball team, who set a program record or tied a program record last year with 27 wins. 4 minutes to go. Oh, nice. Yeah, okay. Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now, you could see where he has grown up from the first quarter, because if this is the first or second quarter, he's on the ground right now, and Viera may be picking that ball up.
Or the even worse could be just chucking it to get it out of his hand, like we saw him do earlier. But you're right. We saw a fumble earlier in the game, holding on that ball too long.
Yep.
You got to feel that pressure and get out of that pocket.
Yeah, you're right. Feel it, get out, or step up and get rid of it. And that's a nice throw on the backside there and down the sidelines. And I like his mentality right now, even down the score with 3:28 to go. Let me put the ball. My job is to put the ball in the hands of the guys that are going to make the plays.
Don't press it. Don't push it. Let your playmakers make the plays.
Yep, that's exactly right. And it's going to be second down here. And you know what? You got the ball, it looks like, last year, and you have an opportunity. This could be a gas defense early in the season. And Gonzalez throws, open across the middle, caught. Ball across the 50, down to the 49. And here come the Palm Bay Pirates.
I'll tell you what, that play was not designed to do that. That was a read by the quarterback and the receiver, knowing that he had an open lane, and quarterback just put it where only the receiver could get it. That's a great read right there.
Jaden Howard on the reception, and he gets the ball to the Viera 49, and we're going to get whistles here as Cramps take over.
Better go check if they got some salt on the sideline.
Yeah, right. 21-3, so Rockledge is going to have to get something figured out there. They're young, but I think the thing that we've seen with the advent of social media, Nick, over the last couple of years is, and communities don't care. They don't care.
Right.
And when I say don't care, what I mean is they don't care if you're young. The football fans in that community, they want winners, man. Yeah. Rockledge is a program that, that has, under Wayne Younger for 9 years, won a lot of football games.
And made the playoffs on a very regular basis.
So they're going to want answers for tonight. But the simple answer is this. Tyrone Giscombe, the defensive coordinator over the past couple of years, has done a terrific job. He's going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine. Don't forget, a couple of years ago, they went down to Miami and got absolutely thrashed, and then came back and won 7 or 8 games that year. And that was in the Kickoff Classic, too.
Anytime you have a coaching staff changeover, and there was a lot of change going on, not just in the head coaching there, but on the staff in general. They brought in a few coaches that weren't there in the past few years. It's going to be a little bit of growing pains.
Yep.
Especially when you talk about completely overhauling or changing an offense.
Yep. Snap. Oh, no, he dropped the ball, and then he lost it, and that is going to be Viera football. He just simply dropped the ball, and the last turnover of the night, it looks like, will be the costliest turnover of the night. I don't know if he swung the ball and hit his running back or what occurred there, but he dropped the football, and Viera, and what is, in terms of that is concerned, has been a well-played game.
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's been some minor mistakes, but nothing that you wouldn't expect to see on a Kickoff Classic. You know, and that's a tough way to, you know, what it looks like to end a football game. But there's been a lot of great stuff from Palm Bay that we've seen tonight that they're going to build off of.
So I'm going to put you on the spot now. So did you have a good time tonight? Will you be back next week?
You're gonna have to kick me out of
that's what I thought.
Out of the press boxes, buddy.
That's what I want to hear, man.
There's nothing like Friday Night Lights.
No, there's not.
There's nothing. And whether you're in a box or on a sideline or in a stands, you know, it's just exciting all the way around.
And that's a little quick out there, and that'll pick up 7 yards as we wind under the 250 mark here in the fourth and final quarter. I know I'll be back next week, and so I don't know if you had an opportunity to catch any of the volleyball last night, but we are technically moving in a different direction in the future, which I couldn't be prouder of, and I think it's time to grow up a little bit as far as that's concerned. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. Varsity Sports Nation and my friend Ontavious McCullough last night doing a wonderful job on the quadruple header in volleyball. If you didn't get a chance to see that, go take a look. And tonight, Ron Lighthall doing a terrific job at O'Galley with some beautiful graphics. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Turns, gives, straight up the gut, and twist, turn, spins, and it'll be 3rd and about 4. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes. Then there used to be a 4-minute warning in college football.
Yeah, in college football.
Yeah. Wasn't there one in high school football too?
No. Not at all. You got that water break at 6-ish minutes, and
that was it.
That was it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I knew there was a 4-minute warning in college for sure.
I would love a 2-minute warning as an offensive guy. You know what I mean? That extra timeout type of feel. You know, it makes a big difference.
I'd like to see the NFL split the difference and maybe go to 3.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like 2 because I think it's still – I don't know. I don't – I think the game stops enough.
I don't disagree with that, you know. But 2 minutes, I mean, you got these quarterbacks and these teams that are running down the field in 14 seconds and 38 seconds.
And you're not lying, because I was just getting ready to talk about, what was it, Kansas City and Buffalo a couple of – I mean, that was ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That shouldn't even happen. And 158 here as I just cannot see this football going in the air here. And you won't. And it'll be 4th down. So if Palm Bay has any timeouts, they'll take them, and they do, and they will, as Mitch Brown calls it. And it'll be 1:47 to go now. And the Hawks are going to have to run this 4th down play, and Palm Bay could get the ball back with 1 timeout left.
Do you run a play here, or do you try to pin them with a punt and make them go 90 yards?
You know, that's a great point. You're the coach. What do you do?
Well, as an offensive coordinator, I always want to go for it.
Right.
That would be my call every single day.
I got you.
You know, but as a head coach, I might feel a little bit different there.
Okay. So
you know, I might say, listen, you know,
I'll be the voice of reason here.
Yeah.
And punt it.
Punt it.
I think you punt it. But here's the other thing. Too many things can go wrong on a punt, right? You can get a block.
Sure.
You know, I'd put my quarterback under center. I'd snap the football. I'd turn around. I'd give the ball off, and that'd be that.
Well, looks like we're going to get a play here. No punt incoming.
Or we see quick kicks a lot.
Yeah, I've seen
Nelson's
that.
an athlete, so you never know.
Well, I suppose when your head coach is also your play caller, sometimes maybe you lean more towards calling the play than putting the ball.
That, my friends, will be the football game. That's a 1st down by Ryan Bubar, and Palm Bay can stop the clock just one more time, and they will elect not to do it. So your final thoughts on this one tonight?
Completely opposite one I think we thought we were going to see.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm impressed by both teams, and I know both teams have definitely some stuff to work on still. Kickoff Classic game. They're going to get film now. They're going to be able to study this film. they're going to have a lot of time this week to clean up some stuff here with special teams. You know, maybe Palm Bay has a little bit more in the book on the offensive side than what they showed this night. But all in all, two well-coached teams, two teams that haven't done anything really bad to hurt each selves.
You know, here's what I see tonight. I see there's a flag for what I would assume would be a delay of game. That'll stop the clock. But here's
the comment just said. I'm getting comments now. It said that college football approved the 2-minute warning that is planned to start this year.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Okay, so we saw new eras start tonight.
Absolutely.
We definitely saw a new era start for Viera football. So whatever you thought you saw with Shane Staples and Derek Smith and Kevin Mays, that, you know, that's a group that grew up together, coached together, and put teams, fielded similar type teams on. Those days are done at Viera High School because Tony Gullah has certainly put his stamp on this program now moving forward. As for Palm Bay, while we see a lot of the same coaches that were with Dan Burke the last couple of years, obviously head coach Mitch Brown, this is also a new era, because if you can tell me the last time you saw Palm Bay throw the football this many times in a football game. Now, I know Jake Owens threw the ball a lot when he was there for 2 years, but I'm talking about these are core Palm Bay guys.
Yeah.
Mike DeGore, Mitch Brown as the Hawks take a knee. But this is two new eras for both these programs, and I think great news for both communities.
I absolutely agree.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. We thank you all tonight. We want to thank, of course, all of our fantastic sponsors tonight, Global Polygraph Analysis, as well as Buffalo Wild Wings as well. Head on over to Buffalo Wild Wings. Grab yourself a great dish. And don't forget, coming up here in about an hour, it'll be the Natwick Insurance post-game show, and that is sponsored by Florida Breeze Air and Heat. One more time, your final score: Viera Hawks 35, the Palm Bay Pirates 27. We'll see you next week.